What is up, everybody? Alright, well, GUDAGUDA time. Sadly, my internet is still fucked, and what's really dumb is, so it was so hard to get a schedule for like my ISP to come out and try to fix it. And he sent me an email saying, oh, we've fixed the issue in your area. Would you like to cancel your appointment? When they have not done anything literally at all. And actually, I'm dropping more frames now than ever. My upload is still like, my download's fine, my upload's fucked, and it's like, it has been this whole time. And I'm like, no, I would still like the appointment, thank you. Okay, well, let me just grab this SQ real quick. Hero proof's always good. I'm on my ult account right now. Take a free lore. I'm on my ult account because I already did the main story on my main account. Not that there's very much of it, but I'm actually shocked at how quickly you hit the time gate in this event. You kind of just... Game... God damn it. Anyway, you kind of like log in, do a stage, and then you're done. So I haven't rolled on Mori yet. I don't really know what to do because it's like, it's a split rate up. Like, it's a split rate up on the 3 stars. Like, I hate them, dude. Like, fuck off. Like, 3-star rate ups are terrible. And the fact that I even need to roll for Mori again is absurd. I have NP5, Bond 10 Mori, and I only have 80 Mori coins. So I need to get multiple copies of Mori to be able to do anything, right? And what do? They rate up Mori, which, you know, 3-star rate ups suck, and they also rate up Izo. So your odds of actually getting Mori are terrible. Like, what the fuck? I don't want to spend 600 SQ on a 5-star, on a 3-star that I already have at NP5. Like, it's ridiculous. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. We'll just have to see. They didn't give any buffs, and they didn't do any animation updates. So far, this event is not winning me over, because it kind of looks like it's just going to be glorified dailies, and they didn't do anything, so fantastic, but we'll see. It's only day 1. Also, it's kind of stupid that Izo got a costume. I like Izo just fine, but he's already got one, and for God's sakes, it's like, he's a 3-star that's not even that old in comparison to the other 3 stars, and he has 2 costumes. Like, what? Yeah. You know, meanwhile, you've got, like, I don't know, Ku, who's one of the most requested servants to get a costume, been in the game since day 1, doesn't have a goddamn costume. Izo is cool, though. Alright, still gotta make some inventory room. I don't really need to level anything on my ult. Most of the fundamental stuff it's got. What does it have that my main account doesn't? Let's see here. Look at all these random golds. Oh yeah, it's got Orion. Oh yeah, it's got Fujino. That's a thing. Probably one of those 2 then. I'm gonna go with Orion. So sorry, Fujino. You're high on the list, but Orion pretty cool. Yeah, at this point, I don't need any Ku buffs or any of that. Just give him an animation update. You know, that'd be good. I almost clicked that foe item on accident. I know I'm feeding him garbage, but like I just need to clean up my inventory. Let me at least get him to 50. I know there's a few people in the intro that aren't rated up right now, so maybe they'll be in a part 2, but I don't know. This doesn't seem like an event that they're putting that much effort into. Like, it just doesn't. I mean, they didn't do any buffs, any animation updates. It's time gated in like 2 seconds. There's really nothing special going on. Like, I mean, maybe they're hiding the stuff, so we'll see, but this seems like another event where they take some incredibly shallow gameplay system, like with the little wanted quests here, and act like it's some big revolutionary gameplay changing thing when it's just missions in a different skin. It means literally nothing. Like, I'm trying to act like they're doing some big content here when it's just glorified dailies. Yeah, there's so many GUDAGUDA characters they could add, but they never do. I was really hoping they'd add, like, the big samurai guy or Maxwell's demon or something, but doesn't look like that's gonna happen. The hell of a background, though. Artists do good work. I'm just saying, I never feel like the artists are letting shit down. Alright, let's see if Achilles can take on the swarm here. Final Fantasy VII, yeah, a little bit. Bit more fire in there. Pretty sure you get one copy of the welfare pretty quickly here. We'll show her off. Not in this stage though, because I want the main story we'll mess around with. So she's getting Shin-gonged. Oh crap, I can't Shin-gong her. Wait a minute, hold on. Actually, I might be able to. His account does not have MLBK scope, but I might have enough Chin coins. Okay, hold up, it's the wrong Chin. UI hell right now. Okay, does he have his passive? Nope, let's see if I can get it. And because this game is fucking stupid, instead of being able to just, like, you know, go in here and, you know, adjust his skills or upgrade something, I have to, you know, click a million things to actually go change my Chin stuff. Hey, Beasley. 34 months, man. I have a feeling I'm not going to have enough coins because I just cannot be bothered to do the inventory management on my ult account to roll that much FP. Yeah, I have 25 Shin-gong coins, not even close. All right, time to CS. Yeah, I got a million FP over here, so I could probably get it, but it takes so much time to sort through a million FP in terms of inventory. I got a coup copy today, though, from FP on my main account. So one more coup, and I can grail him again. Be at CS time. We will show off the welfare, though. We'll just do it later. I like how you have to watch all of this again. Just because I wanted to check if I could buy a skill for a unit. Well, if I'm using a CS, I'm just gonna give him no... no, I'll give him the Knight so he can die faster, potentially. I don't have a lot of faith in these mobs doing good damage. Lost ball 5.5 locked, by the way. So, I was looking up some stuff, doing some math, and if you have Jolter, and you grail her to 120, and you give her 2k foe, and then you get Black Grail, or Victor from the Moon, or any of that stuff, if you get it to the CE to 100, she will have over 21,000 attack, which is pretty ridiculous. Like, you're basically counterclassing everything at that point. Even though you're not counterclassing, and then God help Berserkers. I like how she gets gimmicks here, and we're just gonna eat her immediately, and we'll show off the skill animations, I guess. This is basically slightly less chaotic Avenger Say, by the way. Proper use of CS right there. Here, she can do one animation here. I love the Nobu's faces. They just look so, like, surprised and like they don't know where they are and why. Got a bayonet though. We need to see their NP. This is very important. Although there's so many of them, I have to be a bit careful, so I'm not sure how we're gonna work that out. But I have not seen their NP yet. Maybe I should have hit that 8K one for the overkill bonus. Oh my god. That crit animation though. Do I keep one of these? Do I not NP so I can see their NP? I'm gonna say yes. This is so dumb, but we're gonna do it. Gonna take a beating here. I should have given Achilles command codes so he could heal himself. Because like not NPing right there is so wasteful. Because I take damage when I would kill them all, and like now I'm whiffing NP gain towards the next NP. We might actually lose because of this. This is a massive value hit. Alright, let me put it in slow-mo so we can see it clearly. Alright, let's see what they got. I'm legitimately more interested in this NP animation than like anything else in this event. Love me some trash mobs. Oh my god. And I like how it runs back, right? It has to sprint back into position. Oh my god, that's incredible. Okay, that gets a pass. Okay, it's time to NP. Now that we're burning. Do I use my first skill to make more stars? Yeah, I think I do. It's more refund too. Just don't kill it. Like if he double crits, might fuck it up. Okay, we're good. Yeah, if he had double crit, that would have died, and then I would have gotten less refund on my NP. Yeah, I wish this was like Epic 7 where you could get trash mobs. That'd be awesome. There's 6 left. We can probably handle that. We're not that far behind. A little dramatic music for this. Just some Nobus, man. Look at all these crits, man. Let's do one. Unlimited Nobu works. I mean, there's so many of them now. You know, if trash mobs were obtainable, someone out there would have grailed every single mini Nobu, like every variant. I would grail a green Spriggan. I really like the green one. So a new command code in this event is super good. It's for art cards only, but it increases their star absorb by 150% instead of just 100. That is really good. That is like just a huge amount of extra consistency if you're wanting a specific unit to crit with the art cards. I actually want to try that on Lancelot in a solo and see if that much star absorb can consistently get his art cards crits over the other cards. I feel like our crit luck over these last 2 turns was atrocious. Yeah, Shark Boy is pretty great. Alright, the battle's won. Gotta move the music on. That was clearly Nobu's theme, obviously. Okay, this is kind of a boss fight if you don't use any event bonus or anything. Who shall we use? Why do you have to watch the stupid story cutscenes before literally anything else? Oh god, let's see here. Okay, definitely not that. Did Lobo handle it at level 80 in P1? Pretty weak, but we'll give him a go. We don't use him too often. Grailed Soldier H, yeah. It'd be pretty cool. There's some trash mobs that actually would be fun. You need to twink their toolkits a bit. Some of them would need to be weaker and some of them would need to be stronger. But that's not, no, that, oh, right. This is super annoying. For 3 turns, you just have a chance, not guaranteed, but you have a chance for your buffs to fail. This is where the buff success chance command code would be really good. This sucks because now my taunts are RNG. Well, good start. I hate gimmicks like this. Stand randomness into the fight. Is permanent buster up. Oh man, got the taunt again. Always lucky. I guess I should have done Buster quick art actually, but I don't think I'm going to use my skills until that thing is gone. It's too random. The question is, do I NP anyway? Yeah. Cringe gimmick. Cringe has got to be one of the words I use the least. And the internet seems to use it the most, but yeah, it's never been one that's stuck for me. Yeah, she don't talk. She's too badass for that. Holy crap! Okay, sure, just get one shot. That's just great. On the turn that we got all of our skills. We need some like better command codes, I think. Didn't help that we got like very unlucky with her critting there and everything else. Hard time for the doggo. He barely died too. He almost ran that back. You know what sucks if we do this again? Now our taunts will just not land their taunts. I should probably use Poster Girl then, because it's gonna be really difficult to consistently kill off taunts like that. Alright, I'm gonna use one of my units. It's too hard to find that Lobo again. Let's see, what's something that would be pushed to beat this? Like where it's beatable, but they're not gonna just cruise through it. This is the wrong UI. Let's see here. Babbage is an interesting one. 100 face would probably be too easy. Especially because of the crit down. Getting crit's like the worst thing there. Wouldn't mind trying Babbage. He's only level 90, and he's a 3-star, so it's nothing too fancy. Yeah, let's try that. Hey, I just guess Gilgamesh spelled strangely, but thank you for the 7 months. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. I remember that name, though. Why is the event 5.5 locked? I'm telling you, they're trying to push people to play through the story. That's the only reason, and it's because when they make Lost Belt 6.5 or Lost Belt 7 or whatever, Lost Belt 6, no, 7's next, I can count. They want it to be hype, and for it to be hype, people have to be able to play it. So I think they're just trying to make sure as many players as possible are caught up. Because they kind of always do this when they're like wanting to hype up a big main story down the road. They kind of incentivize people to play through the story. That way it's not just, hey, we made a new story and nobody's playing it. Right, they don't want that. I feel like there's better ways to do that though, because it's pretty arbitrary. Especially when they've already had events where they're like, okay, like, what was it, 4.5? You know, that has spoilers, kind of, for Lost Belts, but they let you play it even if you hadn't done Lost Belts, and they just give you a warning that there's potential spoilers. They could just do that. Like, there's no reason in story locking events, ever. Like, there's absolutely no point. But by all means, add the, you know, spoiler warning thing. Okay. I think you get burned, that's one thing here. Probably a servant, though I didn't really pay attention. Wait a minute. Who knew a month is only 20 minutes? Wait a minute. Look on my timeline, 14 minutes ago, Beastly Whale has resubscribed, subscribed for 34 months. 14 minutes ago, that's the notification. And then now, Beastly Whale resubscribed, been subscribed for 35 months, less than a minute ago. Like, what? It's because sometimes it like lets you send the notification twice, but it's like 34 months and then 34 months, like nothing actually happened, right? But that literally says 34 months and then 35 months. So yeah, clearly, guys, a month's gone by. I've been streaming for a month non-stop, 24-hour streams. Get on my level. Is Lost Belt 6.5 out yet? Because it's been a month, right? Beastly's stronger than time. Yeah, I have no idea. I've seen some weird Twitch notification bullshit, but I've not seen it like that before. Groovy music, though. Oh, I hope this event gets better. I mean, at least this boss fight right here is better than what they normally do this early in an event. That what really is kind of worrying is just the fact that literally, I think after this stage, that's the time lock. Like that's it. 2 stages. Incredible. I should probably bring a dot clear. I feel like that's gonna be good here. Probably don't need the NP gain anyway. Although I've got Atlas. Yeah, there's a daily time lock. I don't think this is gonna be a very fleshed out event. It seems like it's gonna be really short. Who knows, maybe tomorrow there'll be more stages, but today it's literally 2 stages. 2 stages and it's time lock, and there's another time lock tomorrow. Oh yeah, there's Izo's new costume right there. Which I don't think we can obtain yet, but soon trademark. I know it's in the shop, but I didn't really look if it was time locked or not. I think it was, though. What did I say? I thought I said Ryoma. What the hell did I say? They're all the same, chat. They're all the same. I'm sure the dragon waifu will totally be okay with that sentence. Oh, any chance someone in chat here can poster girl a taunt wall? Like Beastly, Zerp, Zaw, somebody get a poster girl George in here. That way they actually die. I think my ult account has poster girl. A lot of people do think me and Cairo are the same. Cairo takes great offense to that, though. Yes, he should. Shots fired. God damn. Alright, let's see if we got any poster girls here. Well, Zerp just logged in, so there's hope. I'm not sure if he's lurking or not. Cairo is green, but with Paimon Royale, you take that shit back. Now my chat's just gonna spam it. Okay, well we got Zal with the outrage. You know, I have faith, chat, I have faith that George will die in one turn. He got that. Zal with the save though, feels good. Guess we go Atlas. Oh shit. Oh shit though. Because it's gonna be split taunt because of poster girl. Maybe he won't die in a turn. Crap, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's a good example of why poster girl's busted. I mean, maybe they'll just both die. Although that's kind of bad for me because then I don't have one extra turn of like this wearing off. That would actually kind of suck. Watch this George chain. Okay, that's one. It's actually bad. I really wish one of them had lived. Because now I have 2 turns where I can't do anything. We're probably dead because of that. This is a really stupid boss gimmick, by the way. Because I could cast my second skill and it could just miraculously work. But it's just totally random. I guess I could give him buff success chance command code. That's probably worth doing. Oh, now you cast the skill. Oh, here we go. This is 500% chance to apply, so it won't fail. Me and Cairo's voices are not even like remotely similar. There's really no like similarity there. Okay, I need to split up my damage here. Okay, I gotta change stuff. I need a different... there's no way you're gonna use Atlas here. The fight's really short. I can do this with Babbage though, I think. It'd be so much easier if the taunts didn't have to deal with the buff success chance. I need to change my command codes, but I don't want to because it takes so long. Because not only does it take 5 years to change command codes, but then you've got getting back into the stage and switching screen. It just takes forever. Yeah, we're gonna either do default or I'll do default because the heal could potentially buy me a turn. Okay, I guess I cast these just for the chance of the defense buff. Hey, they both landed it. Maybe it only blocks offensive stuff or something. I doubt it, but that does make this a lot easier if that's what it does. Because George has actually never failed one of his taunts. Or defense buff. Mad Star Jin. The sound effects on Babbage, though. Anti-Max Stargin again, it's fine. Shame that the Buster didn't crit and got the quick instead. Okay, well I have to do my second skill no matter what. I'd like to not use my second skill, but I absolutely have to break right here. I wonder if I can just break like this if I get lucky with the 50-50. This is where Anniversary Blonde might be better, because you can make stars there, then make more stars next turn. Wait, George's taunt has a 500% chance to apply? That's so rare that they do that. Well, I guess we don't need Poster Girl then. That's actually rather handy. It's super rare that units' own buffs have a more than 100% chance to apply. This is unfortunate. I need you to break there. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Before quick charge. Dude, of course fucking Buster crit. This is winnable, but it's very RNG. There'll probably be less RNG if George doesn't need Poster Girl. Also, it'd be less RNG if I change command codes, but I just do not have the patience for that. Yeah, the reason you don't need the on death effect, like that's not what matters. It's just having that effect wear off a turn sooner, or a turn sooner when you're vulnerable, if that makes any sense. The heal can buy you a turn, but I think this is better. Means you should necromancy. Necromancy is never the answer. I want to see if his defense down ever fails, because if his taunt always lands, that's because of the 500% thing, but I'm really curious if... Because if the... Small sample size right now, but if the defense down always lands, then it might be that it only blocks offensive effects or something. Or has a chance to block offensive effects. Yeah, it might be. Because I know it doesn't always, it's just, you know, success chance down. I don't know, let's see, let me look at George. I wonder if George is just weird and has 500% on his defense too. This is a really rare gimmick that they use, so you normally wouldn't even notice this kind of thing. Yeah, he does have 500% chance to do the taunt. It doesn't say it for the defense, so because it doesn't say, I assume it's 100%, but the wiki can just be wrong with that kind of stuff. But yeah, I might have just gotten lucky. That's a good hand there. It's like the Star Gen cards. Now, I would love to do my second skill right now, but I don't really feel like rolling the dice, so I have to phase tank one turn. What is the best thing to do here? Stargen or damage or both? I think both. It's like okay damage and then chance to crit and then Stargen. Shame these crits don't have our giant attack buff or our giant crit buff. That turn order actually being meta for once. Okay. Now, I feel like she's lower on health here than normal, but I should probably still do this. Can I get away with that quick card? I really want a few extra stars with his star bomb is not the biggest. Oh, the greed. Am I gonna pay for this, chat? Not only does the quick card do less damage, significantly so compared to a buster card, but I lose the buster chain, which means not only does the normal attacks do less damage, the extra attack doesn't get the 3 of a kind bonus. I'm gonna regret this. Yep, I'm absolutely gonna regret this. God damn it. Okay, the one way I can turn that into a positive is if I break and get my NP here and make like a decent amount of stars. So what I'm saying is we need to crit. This is such a greedy, like only doing one buster card is so greedy. Something crit, there you go. I don't think this is gonna work. I needed to be doing this damage to the next health bar for sure. Why couldn't Babbage be single target? She's got a lightsaber. Really weird that no voice. Alright, we have to win on this turn, pretty much. If I don't like the crit spread, I can do it again. Let me see. The one buster has 100, and there's... Okay, I'll do it again. How bad can it get? Okay, that was an improvement. Putting 90% last because it's got the bigger command code. This is not gonna kill. There's no way. It'll be... Well, I don't know. Maybe we high roll on everything. Because we'll have double defense down with our attack up. We'll see what happens. That 90% better crit, I'll just say that. You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! What do you... 90% chance! Made 45 stars! Losing my fucking mind over here. Oh my god. How much health did she have? I didn't even look. Fucking cry. I don't think it would have been enough, but I think it would have been really close because his crit bonus is so big. Here, that counts as a loss, but I'm gonna science this. Because, you know, his crit obviously the crit does more damage, but the crit multiplier doesn't crit unless you crit. Yeah, I don't think he would have done it. I could change the order. I don't remember if that actually changes it or not. The other thing is CS, but I just want to see what like the damage could have been. We'll do it that way and see if it changes it. I don't love losing 1 in 10s. Okay, that means I'm going to get Mori, right? Right? Like that's how that works, right? Like our NP did less damage that time. Okay, so that one, because the command codes are around, the third card actually did less. That's really close, and that means this is beatable. He could solve if you min-max the command codes and the CE, because I could probably bring a better CE and stuff. He could do it. I mean, 22k is super close, but I should probably use a stronger unit just to be, I don't know, more legit about it, if you will. Not bad for being an AoE 3-star at neutral. That's... respectable. I wonder how Bedivere would do in comparison, because he's got the better damage, but he doesn't have any survivability. So, like, Protoku would be too easy. Achilles would probably be too easy. 100 Face would probably be too easy. What's, like, not quite on that level? There's Gwaine, but I feel like Gwaine's pretty strong these days. But, I mean, he's definitely not as good as 100 Face. Like, 100 Face would do really well here, because 100 Face has the crit down, so there's no chance she would lose. Dude, a 70 neutral 3-star would just get destroyed. They'd get one turned. Like, that would not even come close to working. There's no world where a 90 Babbage fails and then a 70... I mean, I guess Babbage can win, but where a 70 Ushi succeeds, like, no chance. Like, stats just don't work that way. Blood Axe would be interesting, but he's a Berserker, so I actually think it'd be too easy. I'm gonna try Gwaine, because he's absolutely not as good as Ku, Proto-Ku, or 100 Face at soloing, but he's still solid, and he's still neutral. Let's see, what do we give him? Because I really do think 100 Face would actually be too easy. Like, she just has such a good kit for soloing. The only way she'd fail is if, like, you went to face tank a turn and you got, like, just, you know, bust or crit or whatever. What do we go with? Definitely gonna be Anniversary Blonde. He does have faux pas though, which is actually kind of nutty. Wayne's always hard to do command codes for. He has so many options. Because you can do Merlin on a Buster card, or even Starbomb on a Buster card, stuff like that. She might have another trait that we could use, but 15% crit or not is always good. This is like very safe, picky command codes, because you can do like Star Absorb on one Buster card and then Star Bomb on the other Buster card, things like that. It's not quite just glorified dailies. Like, this boss it's obviously not, you know, a big deal for trying, but it's better than what they do sometimes. But it's, you know, it's only 2 stages. You literally have 2 stages, and then it's just glorified dailies. So maybe I'd say it's a little bit better than normal, but it's certainly not. I don't know. It's not impressing me. I think I'll go with Guts. That's good here because her damage is pretty random. I feel like this song plays every stream, and I'm completely okay with it. The Hijikata command code, the gun and sword one, or wait, is the good one. That one's amazing. The other one though is not that good because it's like 30% crit at best, but you already have ways to get 30% crit easier. Do like the burn one, and then you've got the 25% buster one. Those are just better. Like, it's not any good. I mean, it's an okay backup one because even if you have max health, it's 10% crit. So if you're wanting to like put command codes in everybody and not have to respec constantly, you can put it on like a unit that you like, but you don't want the best command codes ever on. Like, it's totally usable that way. So George has still never failed his defense buff, so I do kind of wonder if it's offensive buffs only or something specific like that. 45 to 50% be way too much, so like that basically, you can't really make a command code like that, in my opinion, and make it good. Or you're either going to make it not good enough, or you're going to make it too good. There's no in between with something like that. Like, 50% crit damage is just way too much for my command code. Like, that's insane. Right, because the 25% crit damage is already insane, right? That's already adding so much when you can combine it with so many other things. You know, doing more than that is just too much. Like, I think the best you could do is make it 35%. I guess that's the best you could do. Thought about putting the quick card last for more stars, but this will be like my only NP game turn. So preferably we want to not die here. If Guts goes off here, we're in a little bit of trouble. Woo, boy! That's still bad, but a lot worse if it went off there. What is the order here? I don't want to go for crits yet. Yeah, I'll imagine Herc with that. That is pretty wild. Yeah, the new craft essence is pretty niche, but yeah, it's a free way to have a good CE against Fluffy. Because Fluffy's demonic, and it gives you starting NP. It's basically the Arjuna CE, right? The anti-divinity one. Oh crap, I gotta bring, fuck, that's GG. He can win pretty easy, but we're screwed because of the dot, so I have to be able to remove a dot. Because that'll prog Guts. The only way we're not screwed is if I one-turner here. But yeah, I just gotta bring dot removal and we'll be fine. But yeah, it gives 30% bonus damage, and I didn't crit. Okay. Yeah, would have absolutely killed if he had crit there. Okay, well, he'll have I think 100% win rate actually if we do anti-dot. Because I have wiggle room, because I have an extra Guts. But yeah, 30% damage to demonic, 50% starting NP. So it's exactly like the anti-divinity one. There's no difference. So it's another option for Fluffy. Oh, it's split stat? Okay, that's not as good then, but it's still good though. Like overall, one of the best things, if you don't have like a unit that works with Black Grail, or you don't have Black Grail, especially if it's not a limit broken Black Grail, the best thing you can do for Fluffy is buy the Arjuna anti-divinity one. That is the best one. Like the anti-berserker one that you can just get randomly, that one's good, but it is not as good as the Arjuna one. Like it's objectively, it's worse. Although it can be good enough. So if you have that one and you don't want to spend the rare prisms, maybe try it with that one and see if it works. Alright, that ought to do it. I could bring the heal one that removes the dot and heals, but it doesn't make much difference. Actually, Caligula probably could do this stage because he's a berserker. He'll get through the health bars really fast. You could probably set up a 1-2 clap with him. Yeah, Fluffy has a lot of traits. He's very large, you know, demonic. There's a couple other ones, divine. Oh, music be looping. Yeah, not giant. Giant is only for like things that are humanoid and big, basically. That's how they use it. Goliath-like, essentially. Oh, after a million attempts, it finally blocked something. I don't know, maybe the chance of this is just garbage. So maybe I shouldn't be respecting it. Or maybe I've just gotten crazy lucky. Yeah, threat to humanity, that's another one. Bad opening hands though. Could be an issue. %30 crit, 5% less damage. I'll take the safe bet. I'm gonna do a quick last though, just because maybe it crits and a few more stars. If I crit next turn, make breaking easier. Or I could crit now. I guess it doesn't probably break next turn no matter what then. Well, not necessarily. I like how last time I went down to 100 health, and then this time she basically didn't do anything. Variance. $20, $40, $50. We're definitely favored to crit once. Might break. Yeah, we'll break. 3 per kind bonus, let's go! We're so far ahead of where we were last time now. But we don't need it. Like, we would have won last time if we just had these command codes. Alright, next turn is the big turn. Yeah, if you just have a dot clear though, I think Gwane's win rate here is pretty much 100%. The only way you might be able to lose is if, like, you got 0 Gwane cards in the first 2 hands. You never crit, like, ever. And then she, like, busts her crit and kills you really fast. Because we are gonna have wiggle room turns, but, like, if everything I just said happened, like, that really would be a huge hit to your value. But he's winning with flying colors here. Like, we have 2 guts that we don't need, and I'm gonna overkill damage like crazy right here. That's 78k at neutral. So I wish Gwane's quick card was one of his busters because it looks awesome, but it's a 2-hit. Not the shoulder bash one, that one looks really stupid, but the one where he, like, stabs the ground and flame comes out, that one looks cool. But you don't get to see it very often. It's very meaty, I like it. Alright, I don't think there's any more stages to mess around with aside from the free quests, which we'll use to show off the new units. We're this far into the stream and I haven't shown off either of the new units. I swear Medusa gets a CE every single GUDAGUDA event. There she is. Dude, I like the Nobu, the new Nobu command code. The art on it is awesome. It's a 3-star one. Now, if Medusa could just get another animation update. Her animations have held up okay, but they are... Like, that first set of animation updates they did at the, like, early on in the game's life, like Ku's, Imiya's, Medusa's, sure, hers are actually probably some of the better ones there. But they could use a bit of a touch-up. Do you really have to why do you have to wash all of those? Like, damn. I don't even know why these exist. These are literally just missions. I have no idea why he made those. Alright, let me level up the welfare so she doesn't just get run over when I show her animations. I need inventory space anyway. Have any regular 4-star ones? There we go. These are kind of rare nowadays. Min-maxing over here, kind of 1-star one. Okay, let's not min-max that much. I know what they do. That doesn't change anything. Like, it's literally linear. It's like the detective rank and all. It doesn't mean anything. It's just farm stages, meet objectives, just like a mission, and they literally, in a linear fashion, they unlock. Like that's nothing. That's not like a new thing. She'll probably do best on, are they all level 70? That means the caster one's probably the easiest. Revolutionary, yeah, totally. Wait a minute, I think Zert had the event CE. If I gotta do taunt walls, you might as well get some value out of them. Although I don't think this stage dropped that mat, but maybe it did and I just forgot. I will now make Medusa fans sad. You're never getting Detective Medusa as a costume. You'll be lucky if you ever even get a Medusa costume, because you know this game. She might lose this, actually. Let me, I guess I'll give her foe items. This account doesn't really need them. That'll help her chances of surviving here pretty dramatically. Random Tam Cat in my mailbox. Thousand health and attack add up. I don't know what I'm gonna do about Mori. If he was solo rate up, I would absolutely roll, but he's split rate up. So the odds of getting him are really bad. Like, I mean, really bad. And I don't have that much SQ on my main, so I don't know. Maybe I might use summon tickets and just hope I get lucky. Yeah, I don't really like the unit designs, these two new units. They made a separate UI for that. I don't even. I guess some people didn't see it. I guess that's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, it takes a long time to do some of this stuff. Alright, now we're ready. I think this is an event CE, damage CE event, which means the challenge quest is going to be scaled around that, which means you have to get the drop sooner than normal. Never big on that. I'll put it in slow-mo in a minute, but I want to get through the taunt turns here. She's pretty typical for a welfare though, where they jump through hoops to not actually reanimate her. Like, dude, it's crazy. Like, this trend is just so easy to spot. And people act like it's not a thing. It's like, oh no, they're just trying to fit the character. They're not. It's like welfare after welfare after welfare. They jump through so many hoops to not have to reanimate the character. And you just do paper mache. And she is so like that. Like, her NP, it's really noticeable. I think the worst was Requiem, Fate Requiem collab. That was a shit show. I think all they've reanimated is that one hand, one time. I think that's like all. Like, it's just, it gets so old. Every time I see a welfare, I know they're gonna be like this. They're gonna come up with a design and a concept that allows them to just not ever reanimate the character, and they just kind of stand there. Like, even Santa Carna's like that. Like, they barely reanimate him. Thankfully, his animations still work pretty well. But, yeah, they don't really put effort into welfares anymore. They try to make it like really flashy without them actually moving, because people are normally satisfied with just, oh, flashy stuff. I mean exactly what I said. Like, I can't make that any clearer. Like, just look up the definition of animate. Okay, they had to draw her back there. Like, her leg there! That, they just paper mache'd it, right? It's just paper mache, and they clearly needed to reanimate that. That looks so awkward. Yeah, these mobs work together. They totally fit. I like how George is still alive and it's not even close. It's because they're writers. Okay, fuck it. I think we just NP. Because George is not dying anytime soon here. See what I'm saying? It's all flash, and they are not animating a damn thing. I think they might have like drawn her arm at that side angle, and that was it. I think that was about all that happened there. You know, welfares are pretty much always like this nowadays, and then sometimes animation updates for old units are like this. New units though are never like this, like ever. They always actually bother to, you know, draw. Not quite as bad as Boudica, because at least that was like it was like obscured by all the, like, you know, flashy colors. Where Boudica, it's just so obvious, right, that they didn't animate a damn thing. George actually died though, how about that? No need to heal. Fucking E. Yeah, basically they like made like two versions of her arms, and I think that's it. I think that's pretty much all they did for her entire animation set. I don't think they ever reanimated her, either of her legs. It's just paper mache. And they animated her back. Like there's a different like pose for her torso. But that's it. I don't see anything other than that. She has a really interesting third skill though. She has a targeted cooldown reduction. She is pretty similar. Wait, no. That's the caster. Excuse me. That's the 5-star. No, she's like a lot like Antonio actually, which I gotta say I think she is useless to most players, because she's just another AOE freebie Avenger, which most people don't need an AOE Avenger, and she's so similar to Antonio. Like who cares? Like Antonio wasn't that useful anyway. So, yeah, I don't think she's particularly useful. I think she's one of the weaker... The only thing she's good for is she is a guaranteed Avenger you can have, and so when you do fight a ruler specifically, she'll do decently well just because she's counterclassing. But if you already have Antonio, their performance is not that different to each other. Antonio is cooler, I agree. But yeah, she's not super useful. Like, she's okay, you know, if you like her and you want to 10-10-10 her and... you know, level her up and, you know, grail her or whatever. It's not like she's going to perform bad. You know, she's got some decent raw value in her kit, but it's nothing exceptional. But, you know, if you like, you know, the whole AoE spammy thing, you can kind of work in that kind of setup. She's a sorry, she's a free Avenger locked after the hardest ruler fight. Yeah, what are you gonna do? She'd be good for that 4.5 stage, the challenge quest, but that's also, you know, in the past, so. Alright, let's see if anyone's got the caster. Who I need to test. I don't think she's better than Ilya or Plot Monk overall, though. I think there's like certain circumstances where she can be better. But that's fine. New 5-stars don't need to be meta. It's like you're not. I wish we didn't have the event CE because now she's gonna kill everything so fast we won't get to see the animations. But we'll see what we can get here. Yeah, she's an event servant, and or maybe that I think she only gets, yeah, it's just from her event bonus. I don't think the CE does anything. It's just her. So there's nothing we can do about that. It's gotta just live with it. Anyway, what was I saying? You know, I don't think new 5-stars need to be better than the past 5-stars. That's not good for the game. She's good enough that if you want to use her for some assassin slaying, you can absolutely do that. And she's not though so good that she's making Plot Monk or Ilya obsolete. And that's probably for the best, really. Got that helmet hair though. I don't even know what to say. I mean, he's kind of cool actually. I don't mind him. Her third skill is really interesting though, because it can be selfish, but you can also, you know, get the battery stuff and still target somebody else. But I don't think she's like game changing at all. But that's like I said, I think that's for the best. So I'm not complaining. That animation's pretty boring. I mean, you know, flashy. I'm not. I don't like super like their animations so far, but Big Boy is the cooler of the two here. Let's see if she's got a BM combo. They definitely animated them more than the welfare, but they're got quite a bit of paper mache going on too, to be honest. And it's probably because they had to do 2 sprites. But it's okay. I'm sure somebody likes them a lot, and good for them. They're unique. If I got them like when rolling for Mori, I would not level them though. Like, no way. If I remember correctly, this is 30% Buster, 30% Quick, and then 2 hit evade for 3 turns, so it's decent. And then their middle skill is big crit up and then star absorb. Only for 1 turn, but you can still get a lot of burst. Between the NP and her crit, you can get some nice value. And then she can even give the cooldown reduction to like a support if you wanted, which that's pretty nice. I knew they were gonna put one of those in there. I knew they were gonna do that. They do that for so many 5 stars now. That was better than some of the cut-ins they've done though. I've definitely seen worse. So what was funny about that, the way that looked at the beginning, it looked like they transformed themselves into a Babbage bot. Like the way it goes into the intro, and then showing the enemy, it kind of looks like they're doing a magic trick and turning themselves into a Babbage robot. I don't know, I don't really like their animations that much. They kind of just like, I'm noticing they have like just 2 sprites, one where they're facing one way, one where they're facing the other way, and they kind of just wiggle around back and forth on the mob all the time and spam particle effects. It's like every animation for them. That's what their NP is. It's like they're using the same animation over and over and over and over and over and over and over. It's not, none of it's very unique. Like, it's just so much of that. Poor Fuma. About to have a bad time. Look at all this cooldown reduction that's not resulting in me getting to cast my skill again. Don't bully Ninja Boy. I wish I could avoid it. See, and now they turned into Fuma. Yep, she's the first quick DPS caster. Does kind of make me sad. I wish it was Geronimo, but he long missed his chance. Alright, let's go fast mode. Let me do quick art. See if that does anything. I'll keep it slow-mo. Oh, look, he said re there. The old rocket punch. See, that I can get behind that. There we go. Too bad that wasn't like that combo looked good, but that's like the most unmeta combo ever. Guys, just do quick art. There you go. But yeah, that looked pretty good. That was definitely the best animation set. Like those attacks right there, I think were the best. Alright, I'm gonna jump on my main account. I'm gonna throw summon tickets at Mori and see if we get lucky. The sad thing is I have to get 2 copies of him to get 1 passive, which is ridiculous. The statistics are not in my favor. I don't normally stream my rolls from a main account, but it's just some summon tickets, so I'll do it. I'd actually be happy if I got Ku, though. I always need Ku copies. If I got the 5-star, I would never level her. There's no way. Not a chance. Who said it? I know someone said it. I know someone fucking said it. Azure, fucking Azure, you did this. You son of a bitch. God damn it. Don't worry guys, we got 50 Nobu coins. That's what we needed. Yeah, I already had her from the last time I rolled on Mori back in the day. I'm dying, chat. Well, there's a 3-star. Get those William Tell coins. I like the 1, 2, 3. Thank you for the 40 months. Long ass time. I appreciate the support. I you know, it's nice in these trying times where you can't get a fuck this game! That's it! That's it! I'll be back! I'll be back! Fuck!
出雲の奥にここにまかりこしてございます。音に聞こえし奥に歌舞伎存分にご堪能くださいな。それでは末永くご支援ご声援のほどよろしくお願いいたしますね。あっと忘れてました。お国さんの後ろに控えますは残三郎。こちらと合わせてお見せて。
3-star! Chat, listen to me. Imagine one of your absolute favorite characters in the entire game. No exaggeration, one of my absolute favorite characters in the entire game. Imagine it being a 3-star, right? But then it's a limited 3-star. That doesn't get any rate ups. But you get it in P5. And then they add a coin system. And you don't get the coins retroactively for 1 to 3 stars. But you do for 4 and 5 stars. So you, even though I already have MP5, you have to roll again. Imagine that. Feels great. Feels just real great over here. And see, some people think that like, I'm going to use these 5 stars. I'm not. Like, anyone that's watched me for any amount of time, they know exactly what's going to happen to this 5-star. This shit is not getting used even once, right? Never getting used. This roll is like I rolled nothing, right? This is just devoid. And I need 2 Moris. Like 1 Mori is not even enough to get 1 of his passives. I need to at least get 2. And I don't even need the rare prisms, right? I'd only burn it if I actually ran out of rare prisms, but like that's not very likely to happen either. So I basically rolled nothing. That's true. If she got an interlude that you got to like fight some awesome boss, then I'd level her for that, and then I would never use her. But that is true. Good point. Like how chat said it, and then just we got 4-star, and then we climbed up to the 5-star. Just boom boom, just like that. And if they ever add a 5-star that I want, like let's say for some miracle like Butch Cassidy or the Red Baron or Henry V, right? If they somehow got to be a 5-star, then I wouldn't be able to get them that easily. Like no way. Chat, I'm mad. Can you tell? Little salty. No, I don't need Excalibur. Not even Coup, man. Not even Coup. Billy would be good too. We need Billy coins. I actually need to check on Rice Man. I don't really know where he's at with coins. She should be in the game, by the way. That'd be nice. Chat, can I trade in the 5-star for like 3 copies of Mori? This is not a good timeline. Saber Gilius though, yeah, that's the good stuff. Okay, like Caesar. I'm eating a hot dog bun, by the way. Limited 3-stars are pretty cancer. They're not that bad when, like, you know, you just have to get them. But now with the coin system, you have to get them again. It's just, it's bullshit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hey, look, it's another gold. Oh, I'm so happy. You know, hold on. Just, how come when I roll on like a 4-star that I actually want, like Saito, right, or Calamity, how come I get spooked constantly, right? And now I don't want the 4-star at all, and it's just like right up, right? Like, fuck you, game. Like, I would have taken a 5-star spook, right? Give me like a, you know, Karna. That'd be good. How about Herc, right? Give me a fucking Hercules. That'd turn everything around. We get 2 William Tells. There's our 30 coins for William Tell. I would give out those Nobus to Chad if I could. I don't need a single rare prism. That's the wrong Lancer. Just boom boom. Just like him, we're dual wielding. I know a few people that actually are like dying to get Dyrmid copies. Oh my god, they got me there. I was like, is this the one? Nope. Fucking Lubu. Okay, I like you, game. That's great. Like, I've almost never felt jebaited in this game that way, right? But that felt pretty jebaited. I don't need that. Fucking 3 kingdoms up in here, man. I hate this. I hate this because I don't like. I would be willing to use all my summon tickets and SQ, and like if it was stuff that I wanted, right? Like if it was like Mori rated up with the new 5-star that I even kinda liked, right? Like just so, like in the middle, right? But I don't have no interest in the 4 or 5-star here. All right, last summon ticket. Well, that did not go well. Oh my god. I don't want to use my SQ because the odds are just kind of random, and I don't want more of these golds, right? Like these golds are just units I do not care about. Let's check our passives though. Let's see what's the damage. Man, Sanson's actually not even that close to getting a second passive. Yeah, Ku needs 5 coins, and I can grail him again. Alright. What would be best on him? Probably this. Gamba. You know, I already know it. The second I added that Coco Daio, how the fuck you say it, emote, I just know, like, I'll play Ninja Gaiden, Elden Ring, Dragon's Dogma, whatever, and, you know, I'll have some, you know, like, brutal death, and then somebody is just gonna post that emote, right? Like, no context, right? Like, remember that? Any hardcore, like, viewers from the old days? Do y'all remember that when I would play Dragon's Dogma, and I was doing, like, that super dungeon, and the tornado? Anyone remember the tornado kill? You know, that shit like that, right? I know it's gonna happen, right? Like in Elden Ring, you die to gravity, right? And it's just that fucking emote. Let's see here. That's a good clip, by the way. That's a classic. Where's Deer Mid? Oh, I guess that's like the only Deer Mids I've gotten this whole time. Oh, I see. I'd already unlocked his second skill. Never mind. Okay. I was about to say, that's some terrible luck. If you can't see the emote, you gotta, it's FFZ. Okay, Hunterface can get one. She probably wants the extra attack because she's, pretty typical for us. I don't know though, the 71 I normally use in teams, not in solo. So the starting NP would actually be better. I don't know, it's good either way. Because if she NPs a lot, that means she only needs 2 cards to Brave Chain. So you're gonna get the extra attack as well. So it's good. Anyone else here stands out? Looks like a lot of my 3-stars have at least one. Okay, my main account, Proto-Ku, probably the starting NP, I would think. Because if I'm gonna solo with them, I'll do it with my level 100 one. Anything else? Caligula's got a ways to go. I really want to get this on Caligula. The reason I went with this one is just because his NP can be so good, and making it, you know, smoother to get. I mean, hell, if you max this thing out, you can just use a regular K-scope and then NP from the back row, like with Switch Mystic Code or whatever, immediately. That's very good. So, but yeah, with memeing, obviously Caligula's extra attack up is really nice. Thankfully, the 2-stars you're kind of destined to get eventually. I always suggest getting better Twitch emotes, whatever it's called, BBTV, BTTV, whatever. I'll wait on the gold gems just for now, but I'll probably level that if I ever need it. I could see me doing that in the video or something. Oh, here we go, chat. That's the upgrade we needed. Powerful. Very powerful. No one. Okay, William Tell can get one. Definitely the NP one for him. No question. I don't even know. I guess if this was anti-berserker, then maybe, but. Oh, I could have had this for the Babylonia stuff. Let me check his third, because if it is anti-berserker, it probably is better for him. I doubt it is, but just in case. Nah, it's not. Okay, well, it's useless. Battery it is. Mozart's already got his. What about Black Bart? Definitely his second skill. He's all about the NP. We do have a lot of coins for our bronze now, though. Lanlin can get one. I have 375 coins for Summer Nobu. I don't even. Look at that, I'm 5 coins away from being able to get one on Vertra. I think I can just get it with Bond though, so she'll actually be able to get one. That's nice. Level 120 rock. I don't know about that one. Let's see, what do I still need to do? Not much. This event's pretty shite. Guess I go back to the ult just because the ult has done even less, I think, than this account has. I'm so disappointed that this event sucks. I don't know, we'll see. That Cha-Cha boss fight was kind of content. Not a lot of it, but it was something. If there was like a lot of content on par with that, you know, each day, I'd be fine, right? But one. No, the whole coin system is so dog shit. There's no defending it. That system is so bad. You know, it's a bunch of like window dressing to make people think it's like something interesting or in depth, but it's literally just an excuse to get you to roll past NP5 on literally anything, which is like, that's a ridiculous, that's absurd. It's an awful system. One of my least favorite things they've done in FGO. Like, it's so, just so greedy. Oh yeah, I think there's a mission. I don't think this account has it yet, but there's a mission to bring an extra class, like 3 times. Oh, this is the wrong account. Excuse me. Oh, fuck it, we can play this account, whatever. At least using my AP. Let's see if the old school Edmund setup works on Berserkers with Castor Artoria. Probably does. What am I looking for? Babylonia. I'd say any Kuban, Moribon, I guess this is fine. Where is Ku right now? 550, oh wait, so close. That's the last one and then I don't have to worry about it anymore. Like, it looks like you're close, but it's like 550k is still a lot. That's a lot of grinding right there. 300k for Chin, damn. Only reason he's that far along is because I use him for farming a lot. That's the only reason. Dude, if you had Maxwell's Demon on the Mori banner, I would just roll, right? I'd feel no regret on that at all. Oh yeah, if I max Edmund's second passive, he can do this with regular K-Scope. I already have an MLB K-Scope, but still. I don't know if there's gonna be a second banner. It doesn't look like this event is fleshed out enough for them to do that. Like, there's just so little. Oh god, that NP gain. Might still be able to make that work. We'll see. I mean, close. It'll be alright. Yeah, it'll be fine. Because now we have triple NP gain buff, actually. It's a lot easier though if you have Scatty, not Caster Artoria, but I don't think I actually needed to cast that, but you know what? Now that we're casting things, fuck it, we'll use that. Unnecessary Buster crit, let's go. I like how there's always a comment like that every single time I like buff stack for the lulz or I farm. There's always someone like, he's using Scatty? Like, you think after the 700th time, you know, it would get old. Alright, now... Okay, wait, I can do one more. Then we'll go to the ult account and dick around. Although, actually, I feel like doing something stupid. Let's see. Percival nonsense. You know what? I want to see Lancelot animations. There we go. What did the stage drop? Silver mat. No one really has the CEs for that slotted, especially not on George. Well, Max deserves the FP anyway. Don't ask about that. Been recording some footage. Oh, I wonder why. Alright, you know, if I'm gonna take the time to use Lancelot, I can't test that new command code, which sucks because I actually really want to test that new command code, but I'll still set up Lancelot here. Yeah, I think that new command code, if, you know, Lancelot is a terrible solo unit, but I think that command code will make him a noticeable bit better. I don't think you can get it today, though. I think it's time-gated. Do that one. Do I do double Star Absorb on Art or Star Bomb? I'm thinking Star Bomb. You need at least one card to crit consistently. Then maybe Star Bomb and Buster too. The new command code, it gives you 150% Star Absorb to an art card, so it's 50% better than the 100% ones that we have now. Alright, let's see if... So I want to do a setup kind of like this one, and then but I want to have the better Star Absorb, and then see if that actually lets him crit reliably on his own. Because the reason he's so bad at soloing is, one, he has no survivability, and that's always bad, but because everything in his toolkit is all about the crit gimmick, but it doesn't work when Lancelot has all 5 cards. Like, Star Absorb doesn't do anything if you have 5 out of 5 cards. It's not funneling it anywhere, right? And that just makes him like shit, right? He doesn't even do his like big damage, and he doesn't live very long. So he's like a really, really bad solo unit. But if the command codes can ever allow him to make enough stars and have good enough star absorb on a specific card type, he'll be better, and that'd just be fun, right? Obviously, he's never going to be like a meta one, but I wonder if I could do a 4-star CE, like 4 stars per turn. I don't have an Art 1 leveled particularly high, though. But an extra 4 stars can definitely add up, and I kind of just want to see if you hit that critical mass. It's more about just seeing if it's enough, less about effectiveness. Because Golden Sumo is level 100, surely it would be better, but let's see, this one is Quick Art. I want the Buster Art one, which I think is the Bazette one. Is it this one? Yep, that's the Art Buster one. Okay. So that one's split stats too. Big yikes. Definitely not worth it in a practical scenario there. Actually, I should not have done this stage because Lancelot has no survivability, and these are berserkers, and so he'll just die super quick. He might actually fail. A stage as easy as this, he might fail. That would be pretty damn embarrassing. We'll see. Hopefully, you just kill him fast enough that he doesn't explode. If he kills one this turn, I think that'll help quite a bit. Because then I can kill the next one and not take any damage. Alright, no problem. God, I love his animations, though. Some of my absolute favorite. See how many stars we make with that. Like 9? Okay. Well, if his first skill, oh, that's really good. I'm not sure I do my crit thing here, though, because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna kill this one, and I'm gonna kill... Wait, what if I kill all 3? Oh, I gotta go for it. Come on, Lancelot, show us the goods. I want to make more stars for the next turn, but it's 90% crit on that art one. I'll do the guarantee. Who needs to be AoE? I mean, Lancelot is still a really good unit. He's just a team player, so I don't think he's in like a dire need of a buff. But it'd be nice if he could get buffed because he is in pretty direct comparison to Sitting Master, and Sitting Master is definitely just better now. It's really not fair because Sitting Master has extremely good survivability. Lancelot still has, though, better like consistent long-term crit damage. Like he absolutely does, but Sitting Master still keeps up, and then he has just massive survivability, and he even gives his teammates survivability. So it's not exactly fair. Might as well evade now. If any of them get their NPs, we'll just lose. Just crit forehead. Come on. Yeah, how about that? Feels good. Man who sits, yeah, Yagyu. Because, you know, he sits like constantly. I don't even think about that nickname anymore. Like, it's stuck. Nice crit. I should have gone with the Star Bomb. Because I'm more interested in, like, the average crit chances here more so than being effective. Honestly, that's not bad. If I had done the other thing, I'd have 34 or 35 stars. And then with the stronger Star Absorb on that one art card, that's pretty, I think that's pretty reliable. Like, you're gonna get the crits. Let's just do the crits because... And this animation looks cool. I actually think it looks better with quick Buster, but whatever. Dude, his animations, I love them. They're great. I wish Canis's Buster card was like his, where she just does like the leap down and then she stops, even though she has a 3 hit count. Where he leaps down, does 1 hit count, and then he does 2 more hits. Right? It's great. There, I'll slot Canis and we'll compare. I'll switch over to my alt and here, we'll do something disgusting. We'll look at just stupid numbers here. So, like, I'll do Yang CE. Yeah, she's already got burn stuff. I know what I'm about. All right, let's switch over here. I do like the background on this event, though. It's cool. I have some hope for it, though. Just that Cha-Cha fight, that was kind of fun, right? Like, it's easy, but it was hard enough that if you solo, you know, it could be a little spicy. So maybe we get some better stages like that moving forward. The main thing is, like, volume, right? If you look at, like, GUDAGUDA Final, you had boss fights like that all over the place, right? You had many boss fights of like that tier in difficulty. So if you wanted to sit down, have some fun, mess around, use some different teams, units, or solos, you could. Or this, you got 1 stage. So I'm kind of worried tomorrow we'll get 1 stage and it'll just be like the whole damn thing. I should show off the new units again, just because some people that are here now probably didn't see all that earlier. Can I summon myself, please? No? Might have to log in again. Oh no, there we go. And we'll do Atlas. I feel like Lancelot and Canis would really get along. Like, they have a lot in common. They're both meatheads. They both don't wear anything. They both have shields. They're both lancers. You know, a lot in common there. She's probably the bigger meathead, though, surprisingly. It's a stop sign, a green light, red light. Kind of funny seeing that in FGO. You know, look at that! That is such a bad Buster animation, right? It's like it's a 3-hit Buster, and it's just like the day 1 leap and smack thing, right? Like, you couldn't do... Like, imagine if she did that, and then, you know, I did some, you know, brawly bang bang stuff, right? Like, here, I'll show off one of her, you know, good animations is her close range quick, but why can't she do stuff like this, you know, after the Buster, as part of the Buster animation, like Lancelot, right? Like, the quick here, and it looks pretty good. Yeah, her quick is probably her best animation, in my opinion. You see, just hit him, right? Just hit him, right? Bang bang. The long range art's pretty good too, actually. That's the meme one. That's the famous. Yeah, Leonidas is the smart meathead. Yeah, that's about right. But like, they both like training a lot. Like, a lot of Canis's voice lines are her wanting to train in the combat simulator, and Leonidas is super obsessed with training. At least her skill animations are okay. We'll do quick. That's probably the cooler looking one. Really, her art and quicks are fine. It's her busters that are bad. Extra's good. Yeah, I like the extra just fine, but yeah, her busters are really disappointing. And the issue is, when you're actually using her practically, you're mostly clicking the buster cards. So, you know, the few animations I don't like on her are the ones that you pretty much always see. So I should make stars and then NP, but I want to burn. Okay, we'll do this because it applies burn. I want to show off big damage here. All right, here's what we do. We cast this. I don't need it, but we're just doing it for the damage. So she gets like a lot of hate for not being a good farming unit, but I actually think she's a good farming unit. I find it really easy to 3-turn with her because she does so much damage and she gets her NP really easy with her second skill. It's very easy to just do like, you know, basic setups with like K-scope or even without, you do waver, things like that, and just do big damage. And if you, those newer stages where you only fight one big enemy, they do that a lot now, like in a wave. Her crits can take care of that one, right? There's a lot of options there. Yeah, I find units like her, Mordred, and Arthur actually really good for a lot of farming stages. I'm able to 3-turn with them pretty consistently. So she only got the bonus damage on the middle one there. Couldn't burn all of them. I should have brought Anniversary Blonde, because then I could guarantee crit here. Okay, that's enough slow-mo. Can we kill Paul? Always a sentence I can get behind right there. One crit ought to do it. There we go. That was massive overkill, actually. You cannot make me feel bad for Paul, chat. You can't do it. He just healed me. The golem just healed me. What a bra. He gave me maximum HP up. I forget. I think this one burns. It's burning Star Absorb, I think. I hope I'm right about that. So I just want to see big numbers here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this damage output is disgusting. Woo! Look at him critting for barely more damage than his normal attack. Look at all these stars, though. If these stages were harder, I would show off a lot of different ways you can go about 3-turning. But these stages are so easy, I don't know there's much point in that. But you can show off like a Rosh, Spartacus stuff. You can show off the everyone battering themselves like Canis. Obviously the loopy stuff, which I don't think anyone needs a demonstration on that. Alright, we can show off like the caster again. Dude, my ult account. Does it have enough apples, chat? Let's see, there's a caster. Sheba there. I like Sheba more than the new caster. Too bad Sheba is, how do I put it? Not the most useful DPS unit. She's better than Phantom of the Opera. I know somebody had her slotted. Oh, there we go. Hex got it. Look at Hex already having 10, 10, 10. I didn't even notice that earlier. God damn. They used to do 2 big sets of rank ups every year. They used to do one, I want to say in like the fall, and then they did one for anniversary. I like that robot color though, that's cool. But they don't really do that anymore. They just do the anniversary now, and then like random interludes. Or before you did the random interludes, the anniversary, and there was like a thing in fall where they would do it. Excellent. That was better pronunciation than what you normally hear out of English, actually. Always like that in Arc Knights. You can, there's normally have a few things you say in English and you can compare. Like who's got good English and who doesn't. Nothing wrong with them not having good English, right? It's not a problem. It's just like we don't pronounce all the other languages words correctly, that's fine. But it is just funny to see when you have like some of the voice actors you can tell actually have good English. I like this stage more for the robot. I like the other stage more for the short one because it had green on it, and that is important. I wonder who the most popular like duo unit is. You've got the twins, we got them here obviously. There's the Yuri pirates, there's Ryoma. Let's see, out of those, for me it's definitely Ryoma. It's actually not even close. I like him more than I think all the other ones combined, actually. So, look, wow, chat is overwhelmingly with Ryoma. I actually don't think the twins are very popular. I think they had, like, I think people thought they were popular, and I thought they were going to be popular. But when you look at the amount of money that the app made when they were rated up, it was nothing. It was one of like their least profitable months. So yeah, I don't think they're actually that popular. Now, I think the people that like them really like them. It's kind of like Canis. Canis is actually not that popular either. She also didn't sell very well. When you look at a lot of the indicators for like if the unit's actually popular or not, Canis doesn't really meet the requirement of any of them. It's just the people that like her really like her because there's not a lot of units like her in the game, right? I think it's the same for the twins, which is fine. But yeah, overall popularity, I'd say Ryoma probably. Ryoma kind of just stomped in chat there, and just what I've seen from like Reddit and the wikis and everything, I would definitely assume it's them. They're quite liked. Let's see if I can do a triple kill. We got the, of course, we have the event bonus. We literally crit if we don't crit, so I would fucking hope so. I should have done that next turn. Well, stars are okay. But again, I'll do slow-mo. With the event bonus, there's no way we don't triple kill here. Like, we do 100% more damage no matter what. The twins are fun to use, I agree. I don't mind them. I don't like hype them, right? I really like Ryoma, right? Like he's awesome, but the twins were really unlikable in the Lost Vault 5 story, but the summonable version is definitely better. By the way, actually, it's so funny that people are always talking about like males not selling. When I've looked into this really extensively over like the last 6 months, and the males are actually some of the best-selling things they've ever had, and they're some of the most popular characters ever. Like, almost all of the months that do really, really well are almost all males. And sure, you have your jolters and things. Like, of course, there's females that do super well. Like, absolutely. But some of their most successful months are males. And then whenever they do polls and stuff, males almost always win. And when they do like, when they've done like, dude, I can't believe how popular like Gilgamesh is, right? So for example, the new toy effect will, unfairly like favor new things. Because people are monkey brains, and like they're more likely to vote for something that's new. The people are just stupid like that. Like all those anime magazines that do like popularity polls, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Right, anything that's new just miraculously always does way better in the polls, but then isn't in the long run. But there's always like those characters that kind of pop up into those polls even when they're not new, and they just keep popping up, right? They just keep like Artoria or like fucking L or whatever the hell, right? And those things ultimately are actually more popular because they were crazy popular when they were new, just like everyone else is when they're new, and then they maintain their popular status. And Gilgamesh is like that. He is just stupid popular. Like they'll do like who's grailed the most only of this year, right? So for example, when they do who's grailed the most this year, that favors new units because you can't grail someone again, right? Because they're already grailed. But Gilgamesh ends up being in those anyway. And like Gilgamesh is always like on the top of the charts when they show like the most 2K FOD units and things like that. He's always at the top of the charts of those kind of data things that DW does. And I know they did a poll, which again, the new units will be behaviorally favored, but Gilgamesh was in like the top 5 of all Fate characters. He was like in the top 5, and he pretty much always is. Like, it's crazy how consistently popular Gilgamesh has been. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they did a big, pretty large poll, on like a really big website, Now again, you know, different websites are going to have a different sample size and that can affect things a bit. But like the top 10 was almost nothing but dudes. There was like 2 females in the top 10. And people are over here saying males don't sell. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It was like Oberyn, Gilgamesh, you know, Edmund, I think Kualter or something, or just Ku, I don't even remember, it was something like that. There's a couple other males that are in the top 10. There were quite a few. Yeah, Vinch I don't think is actually that popular, because she's new, so again she has the new toy bias, right? And she still wasn't on there. But like Canis wasn't on there, right? That's what I'm saying. Canis really is not that popular. Yeah, it really was not the biggest sample size, but that data is still something you can combine with like the monthly sales charts and then like the things DW puts out at the end of the year, like the most thing that was, you know, picked this year. Like holy shit, they did that thing for like that Valentine's Day thing where you could pick the first Valentine's Day scene you got. The most picked one was Ricky Boy, right? Like that whole year, the most picked one was Ricky Boy, a fucking male 3-star. You know, and there was all kinds of waifus that year. Like males are really popular. It's just people are out of their minds. I think part of what warps people's perception is I hate to say this because it sounds mean, but I really think this is the case. I'm not trying to like generalize any individual. I'm talking more of like, you know, broad stroke. But when it comes to like Twitter, Nico, like the basically Japanese YouTube, right? YouTube, Discord, the wikis, that kind of stuff. The kind of like player that attracts, like because it's not the people that use like the FGO Reddit are not representative of the actual average FGO player, right? It's a biased sample size that is interested in that. And what I'm getting at is the people that are more likely to use like Reddit and these things, social media, right? People are more likely to use social media in a vocal way, right? Because lurkers don't feed into people's perception of what's popular or not because they don't say a damn thing, right? But the people that, you know, post threads on Reddit and post replies on Reddit and you know, put content out there, which, you know, again, influences people's perception, it's mostly the like big tits crowd, I'll put it that way, right? Like it's a lot of that, right? And so I think that's why people have this perception of males not being popular when the data is actually insane. I mean, Ivan outsold so many waifus. I can't even believe, Ivan actually just sold unbelievably well, which I think part of that is because he is like the only big monster boy, right? So literally anyone that likes that kind of design wanted that. But he sold very well. He sold better than fucking Muramasa, for God's sakes. This will be a bit harder to get a triple kill, but again, we've got that really silly bonus, so... I should have done my crit thing. I like big tits and I don't use Reddit, thank you. Yeah. There's plenty of exceptions. Like I said, that's just a generalization, right? Where it affects the average, right? Of course, any kind of individual out there uses Reddit or doesn't use Reddit or lurks or doesn't lurk, right? There's no... Did she not kill the first one? God damn. Well, Paul has her chance. Paul, you could have made me waste 40 AP. You could have done it. You had an opening. See, I should have cast that invulnerability just to be safe, but she didn't do it. She only has 2 actions per turn, so... What was that animation? Was it... I think it was... I don't know, I'll do Quick Buster, see what that is. But like, there's so many reasons why like male characters are popular, right? So just like with waifus, obviously, you know, the female players are gonna like, you know, some husbando characters, you know, that's fine, that's reasonable, right? And it's not rare that guys relate to other guys or like male characters. I mean, look how popular a lot of male anime characters are, for God's sakes, right? Like that's very common. Of course, a lot of guys, you know, like you know, the waifus, but like there's just so many things that like will make a male character popular. Like there's the player base is rather large and has a large female player base as well, and a lot of guys like, you know, male characters or badass characters and stuff, so. And most people like both. Overwhelmingly, most people like both. So, you know, it's just weird that people act like males don't sell well when the data is so overwhelming that they actually sell very, very well. Like, if you look at the last, like, 5 years of FGO, the males have done really well. A few of them haven't, but there's a lot of females that have tanked. The units that have tanked the hardest that I've seen is, it makes me sad, but I mean, Galatea, she tanked like crazy. She was one of the worst selling things ever. That was one of the, there was a month, dude, there was a month with no new rate up, and it made more money for FGO than the Galatea month. Like, that was pretty rough. And there was another one too that was released like right around Galatea. That was another waifu that did really, really bad. I don't remember who it was, but like Super Roma, Super Romulus, he didn't sell very well. He actually sold pretty bad. He sold better than Galatea and someone else again that I don't remember. Crane, yeah, that might have been it. I don't think Crane did that well. I don't think that's not the one I was thinking of, but yeah, I don't think she did that well either. It's we don't really have data on Achilles because he had multiple rate ups, so like the amount of fans, you know, where their, you know, rolling is going is spread out, and his original rate up was in a month where someone else was rated up. I don't remember who it was either, but so because of that, oh yeah, it was Karen. Yep, that's the one. Karen actually flopped super hard. Karen and Galatea both did really bad. Like, I mean, really bad. Some of the worst that any unit has ever done. Like, Romulus did better than them. Super Romulus didn't do so good either, which makes me sad because I like Super Romulus a lot. But he did do better than them. I don't remember if he did better than Miss Crane or not. I'll have to look. Yeah, Achilles is a really hard one to judge his actual popularity because he's been rated up, except for Jolter, because Jolter's rate ups, her first rate up, normally the first rate up for a unit is the biggest, but back then the player base was so much smaller. Her first rate up is, you know, not going to be as big as what it could be now because the player base was just really small back then. But still, a lot of people still rolled on her then, and then she gets rated up later, and those people don't roll on her later because they already got her, right? So her actual like worth is really hard to find. It's hard to quantify. Like if Jolter had never been released until like right now, and now that the player base is bigger, she probably would make insane money. Karen flopping that hard did surprise me. Her not being super popular though didn't surprise me that much. Because I've said this before, there's just a lot of times, it's the Waligi effect. I've seen that, I've been around gaming for a while, and so I've just seen this in FGO and other games, I mean, for just years and years and years. It's like, how do I, what's another good example for FGO? Let me think. It's where like a certain unit needing to be buffed or something, right? It kind of just catches on and becomes a meme, and because it's like, so like with Waligi, right? A lot of the other really big name things that people wanted in Smash are already in Smash, right? So now everybody talks about Waligi not being in Smash, and it's like a meme and it gets brought up all the time. So people have this idea that just so many people want Waligi in Smash, when really it's not that many people, right? It's a decent amount of people, sure, but it's nothing like the amount of people that wanted some of the other popular things from the past. It's not even close, right? But those things are done, and that happens in FGO a lot. Like Miyu, yeah, Miyu is a good example because it was just an obvious pick to put in the game. So people talked about it all the time. Like, oh, of course they're going to add Miyu. Of course they're going to add Miyu. So it gets in people's like conscience that, oh, she must be super popular, and of course that's the one they're going to add, and you know, it must be a big thing. But in actuality, it's not a big thing at all. And it's the same thing for Karen. It's like Karen is not one of those characters that people are going to naysay, but that doesn't mean they like it. So for example, you have some characters that are kind of divisive, right? So if there's people hyping that character, there's also people saying, oh, fuck that character, right? So you can kind of see why they maybe won't sell as well. Whereas characters like Karen, no one's going to be mad that other people are excited for it or talking about it or posting like fan art of it or whatever. But they're like, yeah, whatever. You know, I'm not going to roll on it. But, you know, they're not going to mention that they don't really care about it, right? So when it actually, you know, comes out, they don't roll on it, obviously. And so, yeah, it gives people kind of a false perception. But yeah, Karen did crazy bad. She did worse than I thought, but I really did think she was like the Waligi effect, where, save for Muramasa, you know, Muramasa, he did okay, right? But he did not sell that well, right? Like in comparison to a lot of the other big shots. You know, Ivan did better, for God's sakes. You know, he did solid. You know, Muramasa did very solid, but it was not anything, you know, groundbreaking. But if you looked at like how people behaved on Reddit and the wiki and the discords and stuff, you would think Muramasa was just, you know, unbelievably in demand, but he really just wasn't. Yeah, it doesn't help that Karen wasn't exactly Karen, but I don't think that affected her too much because they made some of her stages pretty normal, that I think most, like, you know, hardcore Karen fans were still happy with it. So I don't think that really hurt her sales. I just don't think she's that popular, and I don't, that shouldn't be surprising because, you know, most people haven't read Fate Hollow, and even if they have, I don't think she's the most, you know, interesting character there to begin with. And for real, ain't nobody actually read Fate Hollow. It's like me and 7 other guys. I guess I keep doing that Berserker stage until that mission's over. Okay, I should actually do this stage kind of seriously just so I can get credit for like you need to like bring 3 night classes 3 times, cavalry classes 3 times, extra class. I can summon whatever though. This stage dropped silver mat. That's the wrong button. The gold mat. It's the bronze mat. Time to do mix until I see it. I'm sure somebody's got it slotted. I don't even need the materials that much, but there we go. Alright, this will probably work. See, this gives me night. Okay, this gives me everything. Gives me extra night cavalry, etc., etc. That does not need to be in the back row anymore. Does this account need to work on anything bond-wise? I don't really think so. Get Atalante's bond CE. That's a thing. That is such a dorky mystic code. It's like you're dressing up as like a king for Halloween, but you only spent $20 on your costume. Gwaine is a little divisive, but he's pretty popular. But there are definitely some people out there that are not a fan. I think one of the most divisive characters is actually Shiro. It is so easy to find a mob of people that really like him or a mob of people that don't like him at all, right? He's very all over the place like that. I like Shiro when he dies. Dude, some of the bad endings actually are really, really entertaining. Ozzy is pretty liked. I don't see much hate for Ozzy. I see a little bit. There's always people out there that don't like the, you know, larger than life, super, you know, egotistical, you know, like that. But he's overall, I'd say, is pretty liked. I think I'm serious. I think a big part. Okay, Gilgamesh is more popular than Ozzy, but Gilgamesh has more haters than Ozzy, and it's not even close. He has way more haters than Ozzy, but they're actually incredibly similar. I am quite sure that the reason for that. I can think of 2 big things. One is just the stories that they're in, right? Gilgamesh does a lot of things to a lot of characters that people like, that people aren't a fan of, right? And that makes them not like him. Ozzy is pretty unoffensive in terms of like, you know, fucking shit up, right? He doesn't like murder really popular, you know, characters or, you know, ruin, you know, someone's like, you know, Gil kills like Iskandar and things like. Ozzy never does anything like that, right? You know, so that I think that helps him a lot, so he doesn't get that kind of hate. And then also he's really nice to his wife, right? So that gives him like a really good light right there. So I'm serious. Like those 2 things just make Ozzy like be way, you know, better in the perception of people. Although Gil does absolutely have more fans though. Some of that's because, you know, Gil has a lot more screen time, and legitimately though, I think Gil is more interesting. Like with his background and like and having such good perception of people and that kind of stuff. He's really interesting. I think Gil's super interesting. But I like Ozzy a lot too. I think Ozzy's awesome. Because Ozzy is an ass too. People act like Ozzy's not an ass. Ozzy is abso-fucking-lutely an ass. Like, are you kidding me? Like, he's a super fucking ass. But the story that he's in, he never has to be an asshole, right? So there's a difference here. Gil is definitely the bigger of the shitheads here, though. Like, there's no question about that. But it's really funny how you can see how that like people's perception of things. Like I've talked about this before. Like Shiro has a lot of plot armor, right? That is just obvious. And some people just deny that to no end, and it's because you know they're like the biggest Shiro fanboys ever. I've never seen someone act like Shiro. Okay, anyone that says Shiro doesn't have plot armor is a huge Shiro fan, right? I have never seen someone be like, oh, you know, Shiro has no plot armor, and I don't even like Shiro, right? Like, I've never seen that. But then, so like with Zig, everybody says Zig has plot armor, right? And it's because most people don't like Zig, right? Like, he's so much less popular. So it's like people are really easy to accept that Zig is getting carried by the pen. But like, really, I think Zig and Shiro have about the same plot armor. If not, Shiro probably has more, to be honest. A lot of really stupid, like, it's crazy some of the shit that happens with Shiro. It's so nonsense. And so, like, I've always used this as an example. Like, Karna versus Zig, everybody agrees that, you know, Zig just got carried by plot armor, and Karna's way better and stronger, and everybody, like, defends Karna, because everybody likes Karna, right? You know, hero charity and everything, everybody wants to just go hug Karna. Where with like Shiro and Gilgamesh, it's not like that at all. It's like a super bloody, you know, everyone's disagreeing. It's like it's constant argument because there's all these Shiro defenders and you know, it's just everything's so divisive with Shiro and Gilgamesh, right? Where with Karna and Zig, it's like, oh yeah, Zig got carried by plot armor, right? It's like those two fights are so similar, it's ridiculous, and but everyone tries to frame them like they're super different. Yeah, I'm sure somebody doesn't like Karna, but they're going to be such a vocal minority that's just going to get drowned out by everything else, right? You know, there is someone out there that doesn't like Shiro as a character, and then doesn't think he has plot armor. But that's like there's like 3 guys out there like that compared to, you know, God knows how many of everyone else. Yeah, a lot of people are, you know, not good at separating like what they like from like what's logical and whatnot, right? A lot of people are really bad at that. Man, the silver one is kind of hard to find there, I'm noticing. Some people don't, though. Some people are, you know, very good at being logical and, you know, practical about those kinds of things. That's why you do have some people that don't like Shiro and you know, feel this way or that way, you know, or do like Shiro and feel this way or that way. Because I've seen people that like Shiro, they're like, oh yeah, that's super plot armor. I mean, like, it's the fucking, like, Nasu even is like, yeah, it's plot armor, like, multiple times. And then you have fanboys acting like, oh, it's totally legit. I don't think I need to explain it, right? There's probably like 10 people in my chat right now that have no idea what I'm, like, why it's plot armor, but I've talked about Shiro plot armor so many times. I don't need to talk about it. Top 3 protagonists you actually like? Well, the thing is, protagonist is pretty broad, because you can be a protagonist but not be a main character, right? So if you count that, there's some side characters out there that I definitely like, but for like a main character, it's pretty rare that I like a main character. I have to like think about it. If I just spit it out off the top of my head, I'm gonna forget some things that I should count, right? And especially if I just say protagonist, because protagonist is anyone that's on, like, you know, the story perspective side, right? I wouldn't say good guy, because, you know, you can have a main character that's, you know, not good, right? That can happen. Because Lelouch is a good example, actually, because Lelouch is an antagonist, but he's a protagonist, right? He's a villain, excuse me. He's a villain, but he's a protagonist, right? Because Lelouch is basically your typical, like, very typical in terms of his goals and stuff, maybe not in his personality, but in his goals, he's a typical chaotic good villain, right? Like a lot of villains are chaotic good, where they think what they're doing is for the best, you know, but they're willing to do, you know, pretty extreme things. They're not worried about like following the rules or the laws of the land to get done what they want done, but what they're trying to get done, they think is good and for the greater good. And sometimes it is, right? It depends. But Lelouch is a typical one of those. Like he's a typical chaotic, you know, good villain, but they decided to put the story from his perspective, so he's the protagonist, right? But yeah, when you say protagonist, so like what's the fuck? I can't remember the name of anyone in Code Geass. I remember Jeremiah and Lelouch. Colin, that's the one. I was gonna say Karen, that's not right. Yeah, Colin. You know, she's a protagonist, right? She's not the main character, but she's a protagonist, right? As are like, you know, several other, you know, characters. So, you know, side characters generally fare a lot better for like my favorites than main characters. Main characters are just so, yeah, Jeremiah is awesome. He's super great. For main characters, the ones that I like off the top of my head is like Yuri from Tales of Vesperia, Shiki from K&K, and I can think of several that I like them, but I wouldn't rate them like crazy high, but they're passable. I guess Lelouch, if you want to count that, I mean, he's alright. I wouldn't count him like crazy high. I mean, he's like an enjoyable character, and I find him interesting and, you know, perfectly fine protagonist, but, you know, he's not like my top 10 favorite characters in anime or whatever. But for, yeah, main character, Yuri from Tales of Vesperia is probably my favorite. Yeah, Velvet's another one where she's a protagonist, but she's a villain, so that's another example of that. But yeah, Velvet was pretty cool. I like Yuri more, but Velvet was cool. But my issue, especially for anime, right? Like, it's a little different for, like, movies or shows or whatnot. There's, you know, different pros and cons here. But for anime, I find most of the protagonists, most of the main characters, I don't find them, like, interesting or relatable. Now, a character doesn't have to be relatable to be a good character for me to like them. But, like, they normally behave in ways that I just find ridiculous, or, like, I would never, you know, I dislike. I find them so spineless a lot of the time. I so rarely like anime main characters. They're normally, like, I find them very obnoxious and dull and spineless, right? Like, the combination of being boring and spineless, not good. So yeah, generally not a fan. I'm way more of a fan of side characters and antagonists. Yeah, Jeremiah is pretty great. He's got quite the character arc there. That was kind of an accident, though, because originally they weren't planning on him, like, living that long, but he decided they wanted to use him more, and so he ended up just getting this, like, crazy character arc from start to finish. I actually like when you have characters like that, though, that have, like, really, you know, long character arcs like that. Especially side characters can be actually really interesting like that. Oh, the music's looping. Let me fix that. I only watched the first season of Overlord. I think that's the anime I'm thinking of. That was like the skeleton guy, right? That was overpowered, right? Yeah, I only ever watched the first season. It was okay, but I don't know, it was kind of boring after a while. Yeah, Revy's from Black Lagoon is awesome. Again, villain, but protagonist. Seeing a theme here, by the way. That's what I'm saying. That's why it doesn't really count, because I generally find, you know, the antagonist or the villain more interesting or more, you know, less spineless or just lame. And so when you have a protagonist that you're just flipping the script, right? You know, it's kind of the same thing, because Revy is absolutely a villain, you know. But Revy's not the best character in Black Lagoon. That would definitely be like Balalaika or Dutch. So those are my favorites over there. Black Lagoon is one of my favorite animes, like, ever. It's super awesome. Does Kotomine count as a protagonist in Fate Zero? Kind of. Just kind of. They don't. Fate Zero is weird, where it doesn't. It barely has like an antagonist protagonist setup. Like the way that story was told was kind of unique. Like Kuretsugu is obviously a protagonist, so is Artoria, clearly. but so is Waver, and sometimes Waver though is antagonistic towards, you know, that group and such, so it's kind of complicated. I actually like stories like that though. Yeah, Waver counts as main character, absolutely. Like, abso-fucking-lutely. Massive screen time. The way the writers, I mean, like, he's the heart of Fate Zero. Like, abso-fucking-lutely. Rather intentional, too. If it wasn't for Waver and his Kandar, that story would be really fucked up. Wait, do I still have a mission for them? Am I missing something here? I swear I should have been done with that one by now. Maybe I'm just forgetting to bring something. Lost is like the only person that's got this CE slotted, man. I haven't watched Cowboy Bebop in so long. I don't ever use it as an example for like anything, just because I don't remember it well enough. It's been so long. The only thing I ever use it as an example for is a good anime opening that is tailored to the anime instead of just copy pasting J-pop, right? Now J-pop works sometimes, that's totally fine, but it doesn't work a lot of the time too. Yeah, like Cowboy Bebop and Baccano. Those are like some of the best anime openings in my opinion for like fitting what they're based on instead of just like following trends. There is January, but I don't remember what it's called. But there is like some literature lingo for that. It's not something that's really in the mainstream, you know, view though, because it's a pretty rare setup. It's hard to do. It's really hard to not have a main character, because perspective makes it easier for people to follow, you know, what the hell is happening. Dude, I got a really hot take for Gundam. I think a lot of people here don't really watch Gundam, but in Iron-Blooded Orphans, what's her name? It's like Juliet or Julia or something. I'm so bad with names, dude. Like, it's incredible. It's the fact that I even remember my own name sometimes is a miracle. But she is a very hated character in the anime community, not just the Gundam community. But I actually think she was one of the best characters in that, and I think like what she was in the story made a lot of sense, and I think she was really good. But yeah, she's super hated, like so hated, like so fucking hated. The antagonists in general for Iron-Blooded Orphans are really hated, which I very disagree with. I think the antagonists were the whole reason I like the show. Iron-Blooded Orphans is actually pretty popular though. It's one of the more, it's not the best-selling Gundam, but it's you know, it's a divisive one though. So is Seed. I think Seed is actually the best-selling Gundam show off memory overall, but it's very divisive. Like, there's so many people that love it to death, and there's so many people that don't like it at all. It's one of those. I would dislike McGillis if the story, like, you know, contrived everything to work out for him, but it doesn't, and he ends up failing miserably, and it's actually realistic that he fails, so I actually like McGillis because of that. Now, I don't really like him as like a person necessarily, right? But I think he is an interesting character, and I like how they want you to think that the story is just gonna, like, you know, part the Red Sea for him, but it doesn't, and you know, nothing works out for him in the end, and that's kind of how it should have been. Because like it's weird. Iron-Blooded Orphans is just so fascinating to me because a lot of what like the story puts forth is like undeniably true, but people like don't want to accept it because they want to like the main characters so much, so they end up hating a lot of, like, that show uses the antagonist to make a point, and it's a realistic one, and people fucking hate it because they just want the weebs to win, right? Like, it's crazy to me. Like, it is so fascinating when I look at like the fan base of Iron-Blooded Orphans, because like they get mad that like the antagonists at the end use like some dirty tactics, and I see so many people bringing that up. When throughout the entire show, the protagonists do nothing but do dirty tactics. They're constantly doing this whole like, honor's stupid, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive, look how edgy and cool we are. And then the second that the enemy does that, everyone's like, oh my god, the antagonists aren't being honorable. They're so lame. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? It's silly. And like, I see a lot of people say like the antagonists don't like deserve like the win a lot of the times, even though like the antagonists like train constantly, you know, or like a organized military. Like everything the protagonists do in Iron-Blooded Orphans is self-destructive, and that is the point of the goddamn show. Almost everything they do is self-destructive, and when they even realize that pretty far in that it's self-destructive, they don't change. They even have like that. They have like a self-awareness moment where they're like, well, we're doing it self-destructive. This is probably going to get us killed. We have enough money and success that we could just stop, but we're not going to. And then of course it leads to tragedy, as it should. Like, as it should, right? Like it's so silly. Like I really like what that show did, because it sets all this stuff up. It has what do you call it? Foreshadowing. People get their comeuppance, which in a reasonable way, and whatnot. So yeah, I ended up really liking it. Like I see, it's just crazy. Like that key character I was talking about. I can't remember her fucking name, but starts with a J. I'll just call her Juliet because I can't fucking remember her actual name. But everyone's like, oh, they're trying too hard to make her a mirror to the main character, and she doesn't work for anything, and like so she doesn't deserve like the results that she gets, which is nonsense. Because she has like the exact same background as the main character. They're both blindly loyal to someone that saved them, except she realizes she's blindly loyal and stops being blindly loyal, where the main character doesn't, right? So that's already a point in her favor. She's got a background trained in the goddamn military, where he's like a child soldier in a mercenary group, and she trains like constantly, 24/7, and people are like mad because she knows how to, keep up in combat scenarios. It's like, what are we talking about here, right? It's just so silly. Julieta, I was close. I was so close. I was on the right track. I was on the right track. But I actually think she was a good character, because she's a mirror to the main character. Obviously, they're both orphans. They're both thrown into militaristic organizations. When they're younger. But she makes better decisions than he does. Just straight up, she realizes she's blindly loyal, and that's not the best. Where he doesn't. That's the big difference between those two characters. Okay, that's enough Gundam talk. I guess we could show off the welfare again, but oh my god, her animations are so bad that I mean, like, count the frames, right? I think they reanimated her torso one time, and they reanimate like her arm one time. That's it. I don't think they ever reanimate her legs. They just mirror them. I don't think they ever reanimate her lower body. They just mirror it. I think they probably reanimate her face once or twice, I would hope. But that's pretty much it. And then she's just like a static paper mache, pose that they just like kind of manipulate. And she doesn't really move around any. And those animations always stand out to me, and I'm not a fan. I'm trying to think of the last welfare that I feel like they did a good job with when it comes to that kind of stuff. So Karna, I think, works. Karna was pretty lazy still, where they barely reanimated him, but the end result still looked good enough that it's okay, so I didn't mind that one. Honestly, Wider Kentucky, as old as he is, I think still holds up pretty well. It's mainly just, he's a little, kind of older character sprite and that kind of thing. But actually, I think he holds up better than a lot of the newer stuff. Let's see, what are some other welfares that are more recent? I want to think of some recent ones. Because most of the ones I can think of are in line with her, where, they just go so far out of their way to never, have to reanimate the body parts. Saber Lily's not exactly a welfare. Saber Lily is just a one-of-a-kind unit, right? There's no way around that. She's just a one-of-a-kind unit. She was originally given out as a promo, like you register for the game unit, right? So there's nothing else like that, and she doesn't have welfare mats, so you level her skills and everything like a normal unit. But then she was given out again as a welfare later down the line. But then they added her to FP summon, so you know, Saber Lily is just Saber Lily, and that's all there is to it for that one. Summer Yu. Okay, they did I have to look at her animations again, it's been a minute. But they did an okay job at that. I don't think they animated her that much. They mostly just, they basically used what animations they had intelligently to make it hard to tell that they're using the same pose over and over. And they actually do that a lot in FGO, where they'll have like their default standing pose, and they'll use paper mache with that pose to just, you know, use those same positions for a lot of stuff. But then they'll have like another pose for each body part, at least one for each body part. And then like they'll find ways to just go between those two poses in like having the face backwards and forward and mirrored and stuff to get a lot of, you know, boom for their buck. But what I find is very common for welfares in animation updates for old units is they don't ever reanimate their legs. Or if they do, it's only the front leg. I cannot tell you how many units they never, under any circumstance, will reanimate, you know, redraw their back leg. And it looks so stupid sometimes. Like, was it an Ares or whatever from Fate Requiem? She's a really extreme example of that. But there's quite a few. Like I think Scaff, I don't think they ever reanimate Scaff's back leg, aside from like her cut-in for her MP. But it's the same sprite, and they just manipulate it all the time. There's a lot like that. And I haven't really checked with this unit, but I'm pretty sure she's the same way. What's crazy is Ku, his animation update was a really long time ago, so his overall, like, you know, quality of his, like, choreography for his attacks isn't that good. But they actually put a lot of effort into him, even though it's an older sprite. Like, they actually, if you look at Ku, they reanimate both his legs almost every single attack. They have, like, unique frames for almost every single attack. I actually suspect Ku will get an animation update again down the road, and it won't be as much effort put into it. The sprite will look better, and the choreography will be better, but I bet you they're going to reanimate his body parts less. Like, they're just really cheap about that stuff these days. Hard to say if they're being cheap. It can also just be them being rushed, but that kind of is also being cheap because that means you're probably not hiring enough staff to keep up with that kind of stuff. That can be Aniplex's fault, so. Like, oh my god, that animation, in Phasmo it's harder to tell, but it's obvious that they needed to reanimate that leg, but they didn't. Looks super fucked up. I should not have brought George. He's like unkillable against casters that are this week. They didn't even attack. I'm literally gonna try to keep these alive so that you have more actions per turn to kill George. I need one of them to crit. They have crit damage up, but they don't have crit chance up, so. Work with, there you go, and you didn't kill him. I don't think we taunt now. That happens. The public will rarely learn about that stuff, especially with Japanese companies, because they're pretty, they don't, they're very private, I'll put it that, you know, they try not to share information about that kind of stuff, you know, hiring and firing. But yeah, that can happen with companies where a lot of like the skilled workers will quit or get different jobs or move to other companies or whatever, and they have a really hard time replacing them. That's been a problem in the anime industry. I've seen some people in the anime industry talk about this, where a lot of industry veterans, because okay, here's the thing about animation, right? It's hard. It's really hard. Now, some people are naturally gifted in that kind of stuff and they can get good at it at a fairly young age, but that is not standard at all. Like, that's not standard at all. It normally takes people years and years and years of practice just to get good at it, let alone get fast at it. I mean, it is such a difficult skill to master, like crazy hard and very time consuming. And so most of your really top tier animators are going to be a bit older because they've been working at it for just, you know, forever. So they've got so much experience. Experience is very important with animation. So a lot of times animation studios, you've got your veterans that, you know, are really key and important to the studio, and then you've got your newbies that are learning from those veterans and helping, but they can't really carry on their own by any means. But what I've heard from the anime industry is a lot of those veteran animators have just quit. You know, like the industry is just sucks, or the pay's too bad, or they've just moved on to other things, or they can make money better by just doing fan art, for God's sakes, on you know, social media. So there's a real absence of experienced animators, and there's a lot of amateur, like, you know, level animators, like, and people that want to get into the anime industry, but they don't have that experience. They just don't. So they have a huge supply of animators, but a very small supply of experienced, you know, really skilled animators. And yeah, it's making a lot of problems for the industry, big time. The anime industry is honestly pretty unhealthy, like when it comes to like the way they monetize it, the way their budgets are distributed. It's been a mess for a long time. It's kind of a shame, because you know, art and animation is awesome, right? It's really interesting and unique, and I really like it. So it's a shame that that industry has had so many problems. And oh my God, American animation is even worse shape. It basically doesn't even exist over here anymore. Yeah, that's actually smart. I know some studios kind of thought ahead, and they started building up like veterans for the future. But sometimes those veterans end up, you know, burning out just like the other veterans did, and they end up quitting. So, man, that was really difficult to just get rid of George. American animation is about dead, right? It's mostly CGI, as Arjuna said. And I heard that there, I don't keep up with Disney, but there was some Disney movie where they were gonna have like a throwback. That damage is pathetic, and she's an event servant. Although she's level 40, I guess that. But I mean, she's actually kind of like level 80 then, though, because it depends on how her growth curve is. But man, she might fail this actually. She's getting wrecked. Anyway, there was like some Disney movie or something Disney was involved in where they were gonna have like a throwback to traditional, you know, 2D animation. And they couldn't do it. And they had to bring in people that quit Disney a long time ago, like the old timers, and have them come in to do it and show them how to do it, because no one that worked at Disney could do it anymore. Disney. Fucking Walt Disney. No one knew how to do animation anymore. Like, just, it's sad. Like, you know, Walt Disney is where animation spawned from, for God's sakes. And they don't know how to do it anymore. Like, that is just pathetic. Also, we're about to die over here. Alright, we need this NP to actually, like, kill next turn. We'll make as many stars as possible so we can get a crit. Like, there have absolutely been good things from America when it comes to animation. Like, absolutely. But it's so few and far between. It is so few and far between. And it's getting fewer and farther between as time goes on. And I think most old-timers, I think, oh, I've seen that pretty clearly at this point. See, like right there, when she sat down, they didn't reanimate, like, her legs. They just paper mache'd it, right? Because they have joints and, you know, skeleton work on these. And that's like her whole moveset. It's all like that. Come on, get a crit. There's nothing wrong with 3D animation. There is nothing wrong with 3D animation, and it can be awesome in its own right. But it's its own thing, right? It's not like, I'm not advocating for the death of 3D animation, right? But what I am advocating for is not killing 2D animation, right? Both of these things should be able to exist, and they both have, you know, lots of artistic merit, if you will. But it's, you know, 2D animation is absolutely dying. Like, no question, it's absolutely dying. And it's because it's just so hard. I mean, 2D animation is the hardest way to tell a story, period. There's no competition. 2D animation is the hardest way to tell a story. And it also costs the most money. And unless you're doing it as like a passion project, as like a crazy bastard, it is the most expensive because the time is money. So yeah, it's just, it's not economical. People like it. I think the demand for good, high quality 2D animation is there, just like it always has been. You know, people like it, but it's so hard to create that you know, and like 3D's like, it's like, well, it's good enough, right? So that's why it ends up being sticking around more. All right, we still need this Berserker one. I have seen some 3D animation that I think is awesome, like just awesome. but it's not 2D animation. It's just something different, right? I don't normally even compare them that much, right? Because I mean, my God, I've seen some, you know, some 3D animation stuff out there. You know, be it on, you know, stuff that people make on fucking YouTube or in a video game or whatever. That, I mean, it's absolutely art and it's incredible, right? Like, no, but it's just such a different thing from what 2D animation is. Now, I'll say this: bad 3D animation, which is very common, it looks like dog shit, right? Like, that looks terrible. I guess I just do the stage. We don't really need to. Not much to show off right now. I mean, we just got the welfare, who's only level 40, and his god awful animations, and then the one new caster, and that's it. No one got buffed. No one got buffed. It sucks. Now, you know what we could do? We could go to like Lobo. We could use Hex's, the new caster, use her as a DPS against Lobo in Epic of Remnant, and just see how she does. Yeah, we'll do that next. That'll be fun. If I had more, it's getting a little late. If I had more time, I would actually compare her to Plot Monk and Ilya, but we might do that like next time. Oh yeah, claymation's a thing. That's a whole legitimate art style too. Absolutely. Yeah, bad 3D animation is just. Oh man, has anyone gone back and looked at some of the 3D like shows that came out like in like the 2000s, like the early 2000s and stuff? They have I mean, they didn't look good back then, but saying they've aged poorly it does not do it justice. Like, whew, some of that shit is pretty bad. Like Code Lyoko. There was another one I remember. I don't remember what the hell it was called, but there was this other 3D show that was out like a bit before that. Oh my god, I remember thinking it looked so bad back then, and it looks even worse today. There was like Beast Wars and stuff. There was like Transformers. What was it? Energon or something. I never really watched Code Lyoko. I don't know much about it. I could not even tell you a character trait of someone in Code Lyoko. I know so little about that show. I never even would like really watch an episode. I would just see a few clips of it here and there, like when I was a kiddo or a teenager or whatever. I don't remember what age I was when that was on television. God, television. I haven't watched television in a long time. I'd imagine there's people in my chat right now that have really never used television. Like, there's people that have just grown up never really having it, because it's died off a lot, right? And the people that do know what television is, it's probably like their parents watch it, and not so much them. The cable's pretty dead. There's still reasons to watch television for sure, but there's no denying that it's gone down quite significantly.
今夜はシェヘラザードさんの朗読会が催され。お知らせはしっかり確認。お知らせはしっかり確認しておけ。All this FP. お嬢さんは知らずに山を登ったら。All right, let's go use the new caster. Let's test her out in a real boss fight. Everything else in the team will be budget. That's always what I like to do. To kind of see their own worth, not have them get carried. Okay. Starscream was cool in the first Transformers movie because he was kind of like, you know, Boba Fett, where he didn't talk a lot, he was mysterious but competent. You know, because he was in that first movie, he wasn't in it that much, but every scene he was in it, he was being very competent and capable, right? So he was pretty like badass. And they kind of hinted at, like, you know, the bad relationship with, like, Megatron there. And then they completely changed his character for the movies moving forward, and it was shit. And then the movies also were the only good Transformers movie is the first one. And I wouldn't even say it's good, it's just okay, right? Like, it's an okay action, you know, film with a few cool shots. But every Transformer movie after the first one I think is terrible. Although I haven't watched all of them by any means, so I guess I can't say that for sure. Alright, Hex, hit me with the good stuff. Okay, do I still have the team that we normally use? I don't think so. Yeah, time for. I will say it is always bullshit when we do a budget team to support a quick DPS because there isn't a quick budget unit. It's stupid. The best is Alex. At least Alex is good here because the buff removal is actually awesome in this fight. All right, hold up. Yeah, it's fair. There's nothing wrong with like enjoying Transformer movies, and you know, the reason I'm totally fine with like junk food movies and just enjoying some action. See, that's all that. That's fine. No big deal. No, you know, snooty bullshit here. The reason I don't like them is most of them I don't think are very good for even that, because they do like, my God, how do I explain this? Everyone is like a balloon. There's no weight to them. Everyone's like they're these giant robots. And they feel like they're out of air. They're like all these weird, unnecessary flippy moves. Like instead of just shooting the guy or crouching and then shooting, they like do a backflip into a crouch and like while spinning and shooting. It just looks stupid. Like they go so far out of their way to like make the Transformers move too much, so it looks like absurd. And then like the camera is always like way too zoomed in, so you can't see anything clearly. So you have all these like all the robots move really bizarrely and like overly fancy in ways that is like kind of absurd. And then the camera work is terrible. I mean, the camera work is a huge issue that I have with a lot of the Transformer movies. That's probably the biggest issue that I have. So those two things make me not enjoy them as like just, you know, fun, you know, blockbusters, right? For that kind of film, I want, you know, good camera work, for God's sakes, and good, if it's action, then good choreography, which unfortunately America's been really bad at in the last, like, I don't know, 10, 15 years. Why am I in this UI? Oh, because I was gonna see if I could painlessly level Alex's skills, and now that I say that sentence aloud, I wish I hadn't. Like, those things are at odds with each other. Painlessly level Alex's skills. What are we saying here? I'm gonna look at my, like, what I mean by painlessly is when you look at the mat required, it's like, oh, I have like 400 of that, right? You know, you don't care. But he takes 1 million hero proofs on the account that I don't farm on, right? Like, I don't even have the gold gems apparently, so. You watch this. Look, you're like, oh, that's painless. Look at that rank up, that's painless. And then you get slapped by one of those. Look at that shit. 48 hero proofs. I don't think so. We'll just we'll keep them right there. That's enough support for the new caster here. I've actually been leveling though my Alex. I think my Alex is like 8, 10, 10 right now on my main, and I have the hero proofs to make him 10, 10, 10. It's just, it's hard to part. It is so hard to part with hero proofs. Where did Hex go? Right there. Okay. Don't know why I didn't see that. All right, so Nash is obviously budget and really good here, but I've been not bringing her just because she's too good, and it's like she's so good that the DPS can be Phantom of the Opera, for crying out loud, and you'll win. So draw it back a little bit. Who to use? Always George. I feel like she'd be okay though with Leonidas because of the star bomb and everything. He might die too soon though. If it was Mash and Leonidas, it'd be okay. If Hans lands as his buffs, it'd be okay. We'll see. How early do I want Alex to come in? That early? Sure, why not? What could possibly go wrong with not having a taunt around the time the boss might NP? There's clearly not a flaw in my logic here. Okay, she's got to be the only DPS. So let me just bring all the staple budget quick supports, guys. Like, you have so many options for Buster and Artman. You got, like, good, tangible stuff here, and then for quick, it's just, like, mod check. I mean, maybe we go for a... You know what? We could do that just for the Buster Crit stuff and then the taunt. Maybe we cut George. Oh, that's greedy. God, I'm just asking to fail, but I'm trying to like show off her damage in a budget scenario if I can. This is super greedy right now, though. I could do George last. Mash last would be really good. She has evade and Lobo has sure hit. This is not a good idea, but you can't stop me. This might fail miserably. This is not the smartest setup I have ever made. That is putting it like it's good budget like support for her in terms of balancing taunt with giving her damage, but it's really risky. Like if I wanted to win, I would just use like George and that kind of thing. Let's see. You know what? I think it's Shinji time. Where is the lad? I kind of need this for the invulnerability, but I want the heal of this one. But I think I have to do this. There's always this, but I don't fucking think so. Here's the thing, there are so many gender bins already. I don't really approve of any of them, right? We're like in gender bin debt, right? Like they're so far in now, like we need like to get some normal shit for God's sakes. Okay, I almost want to... Okay, I think we wait one turn and then we... Hans NP. Hans has no art cards right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and cast this. Just don't fuck me up. Like I don't want to see no Buster Crit here. Okay, I was hoping he'd hit the middle one because you know, I want to heal everybody. The bad thing is I can't really taunt here because I don't have my defense up yet, so I think I need to still wait. Quite bad. I need to get Leonidas' second passive, because if he could NP right now, that would be just huge. All of his NP gain is in the last hand, so I should have done Hans' third. Okay, I'm gonna reset. I just played bad. I need to do Hans' third skill on Leonidas. This team is so needlessly greedy. But I feel like if we go with a more typical setup that I normally use here, it'll just be so slow. I don't think she's such a strong DPS that would be a fun clear. Most of Fate's games are just really shallow. I'm not even kidding. FGO is probably the least shallow Fate game. That's depressing. Because FGO's like boss fights and challenge quests and all that, they're legit. You know, that's not shallow. But most Fate games like Extella and Extra, very shallow games. Like in terms of like gameplay mechanics. I don't think it's even close. I can't think of a single Fate game other than FGO that has any depth to its like mechanical gameplay. Like, fucking Fate Extra is rock, paper, scissors. Like, are you kidding me? Man, this turn is tricky. Even though I got his cards, I think I still do this.
Excellent!
11 years ago means nothing. That means nothing. There were amazing, incredible video games 11 years ago that also had good stories. Like that's nothing. That doesn't mean a damn thing. There's nothing wrong with a story just being a story and not having, you know, gameplay to it. But don't just make a visual novel. Make a comic book. Make a movie. Make an anime. Don't make a video game. If you're gonna make a video game, the whole point of it is to be an interactive medium. Like there's no excuse for that. And it's like, the thing about Fate Extra, it's even worse than that. If you want to just watch the story of Fate Extra, you're better off watching it on YouTube than you are playing it. Because you have to grind like a motherfucker to just do anything. It wastes your time. That game literally wastes your time by making you have to grind and do these monotonous, boring, bullshit, you know, random encounter fights that are, it's fucking rock, paper, scissors! Like, are you kidding me? And you have to grind that. And that's what you have to do to progress the story. Like, no thanks. Like, it's worse than just being a story, right? That Fate Extra would be better if you removed all of the gameplay from it. As such, it is a failure of a video game. Like, you chose to make a video game that the video game is the worst part of it. And no one disagrees. No one in their right mind is going to say that the gameplay isn't the worst part of Fate Extra. So then why is it a video game? Why isn't it a visual novel like Fate Stay Night? Or an anime, or a manga, or you know, any of that. Like, why is it a video game? Why does it have gameplay if the gameplay is going to be that shallow? Because it's undisputably, like no one here is disputing it. Clearly, it's undisputably shallow as fuck, right? And same for Extella, right? Extella, like, at least Extella is kind of trying to be mindless fun, but it's not even good at that. I can think of other games that do the mindless fun hack and slash thing a million times better than Extella and Extella Link. I mean, fuck, the Gundam Dynasty Warriors games, I think, are better at it. And the Zelda one is, and all that. A lot of Dynasty Warriors games do that kind of mindless hack and slash stuff better than Extella Link. Extella Link is shite. Super shite. Alright. Overcharge Hans or Leonidas. If Hans lands the defense buff, then Hans. But if he doesn't, then probably Leonidas. I guess we'll overcharge Hans. We'll just hope for the best here. I kind of want to do quick for the stars, but 60% Buster. Whew, boy, this is still going kind of slow. Besides, the Buster wouldn't have done anything because of the evade. I'm not a huge Zelda fan, and I'm not a huge Dynasty Warriors fan, but Hyrule Warriors actually looks fun to me. And I've watched videos and like looked at how the gameplay works, and it's like, you know what, that's not too bad. No, I can respect the effort put into that game. I cannot say the same thing for Extella Link. The only good thing about Extella Link is at least Darius has fucking cool animations. Okay. She needs to, like, NP within these 3 turns. Leonidas needs to be able to NP again. Alright, we might have some value here. Damn it, Lobo's got that giant defense up. Woo boy, not impressed by that. I wanted Leonidas to be able to NP there so badly. And he's at 98%. I am so mad, because if he could NP right now, everyone's safe, he'd have another defense up, he'd take no damage, and he'd get a bunch of NP gain again. God damn it. Alright, we give this to Hans, like, for real. I'm so sad, dude. That would have been so good if Leonidas got his NP because he'd make stars and everything. Yeah, I know, if his skill was 10, he would have gotten it. Captain knows. 77k, that's okay. I'm not like super impressed, but I'm not disappointed either. Yes, there we go, that was lucky. That was not. Maybe I should have given it to Leonidas and then I could have done that cooldown reduction. You know what? I should give it to her because we're here to test her, but Leonidas getting his NP again would be super swell. But I mean, it is the point of this is to see what she can do. Which so far has not been a lot. Chat, I can't help it. It's just it's the right play here. No joke, I could make a Leo setup easy here. I actually think I can make a better Leo setup here with her than for her, because she does the cooldown reduction, Atlas does the cooldown reduction, you get that first skill up, you could actually get like some loops going, right? You get his guts again. I was so tempted to use Atlas on Leonidas because then he gets guts. It's probably not worth it. I mean, again, it's not a Leonidas setup. We're not supposed to be doing it that way. Look at these crits though. I'll do that later. I really should make a video where we really have Leonidas carry. You bring like such a bad DPS that they can't carry. Or just someone that synergizes with the stars he makes. Leo's awesome, dude. He's great. Yeah, I'll probably make a Leo video for this at some point. It's not really a turn that I can capitalize on the buff removal. This is really bad. This team, this is not entirely her fault. I mean, she's not performing well at all. She's doing terribly compared to even Ushi. But this team is not that good, at least the way we're using it. I mean, Leo and George are kind of the same as they've always been. They just have such different, like, Leo being a little bit better now doesn't change anything because they're fundamentally used in different ways, even though they're both taunts. Leo is just better at the thing that he did before, but George never did that to begin with. She's doing terribly though. Like I'm not even remotely impressed. Her MP damage is bad. Her crit damage is bad. Her skill cooldowns are way too long. And like she can scale just fine with strong supports, but anybody can. Like of course if you use Scatty and things like Waver and all that, she'll do better. But that's every DPS unit that's ever existed. Okay, this is kind of weird. I'm doing cooldown reduction to get cooldown reduction. And stars. It sucks I'm wasting the battery, but I'd rather have the stars right now. It's rare that I'm disappointed by a unit here. Like, we've done this stage a lot with a lot of units, and it's rare that I'm disappointed. I am disappointed, though. This is a terrible showing. I'll use her more, though, because, again, the team was, you know, more scuffed than normal. But I don't know if I do, like, Mash Hans, it'll win, but it'll take so long. It'll take forever. But she's not strong enough that she can't go with a more blitzy setup like this, because she can't even capitalize on, like, the more blitzy stuff that we did. She is still straightforward though. I mean, if you gotta kill an assassin, it's good enough, but actually, I probably shouldn't have done that because she'll get her NP here no matter what, unless something goes really wrong. Yeah, I should have maybe cast it next turn or cast it on Hans himself. Oh, okay, never mind. We just were preempting the demise. Okay, 80% chance. Although, unfortunately, the enemy's got the defense up, and not much I can do about that. Her gameplay is just, it's very standard, it's very straightforward, right? She's just straightforward single target, you know, a little crit thing on the side, but it's not that good, but it's reliable, I'll say that, because she has the absorb with the star bomb. But the overall value I think she can get is nothing exceptional. You know, I don't think she's bad, I don't think she's some like garbage, you know, 5-star unit or anything, but absolutely not exceptional. And because of her cooldown reduction, they made her cooldowns a little long, and it doesn't balance out ultimately, I would say. Unless you just need her to like break a health bar, then cycle into other units. She's probably better at that, really. Let's see, I guess I do this. Yeah, we're gonna fucking fail this stage, which that's pretty sad. It's pretty easy to do this normally. And she's not actually close either. Pretty confident Plot Monk and Ilya can definitely perform better than this, even with an equivalently fucked team. It's easier to use them though, because I will say we have noticed, it's noticeable that a lot of the quick units have a harder time here, unless they're like, you know, really good, like Ku or something. Or they have a niche like Proto Ku. Now, I'd like Fuma to wait to do that buff block to get the sure hit, but actually it'll block the evade no matter what. I guess I just use it now then. That makes Fuma significantly less useful than I was thinking. I love the voice acting on that guy though. He got every single voice line right there too, for the card selection. Can we just get an event or a main story that adds a new 1 to 3 star that is a proper, you know, fully dedicated quick support, like on par with Qin Gong or Mozart? Like, I honestly don't understand why that hasn't happened yet, because they've made Hohenheim and Mozart for art. You got Shakespeare and Qin Gong for Buster, and then Quick doesn't have anything. And we're 6 years in, so it's kind of weird. Well, she's gonna die soon. We don't have enough, I should have evaded her there, honestly. I mean, it's not like this event is the only time they've had a chance. They've had a million chances, and you could put Izo and Mori on a separate rate up. Or, I don't know, don't make limited 3 stars. There's a concept. Maybe she can just somehow eke out a win here. Maybe it's not over yet, chat. I want Alex to live this turn, and then Charm next turn. Sucks that no one else got a Buster card. She'll still do decent damage though, and she might get her NP here. There we go. Just don't kill Alex. No. Bad dog! We had evade on her, whatever her name is, and we didn't fucking evade a single thing. Okay, actually, I think we might still win, because then we got the invulnerability come up. Do I quick chain or do I want the bridge? I think we quick chain. Crits are nice. She's kind of running it back for how scuffed everything was. She's doing okay. More total value at the end here than I was expecting. I mean, she's throwing out kind of mid-core damage, but very consistently. We could die at any moment, though. If she lives this turn, though, we actually might win. Because then we have vulnerability, and we probably win the turn after that. So it's all up to this turn. Uh-oh. Also, I could get insta-deathed. So he's got the defense up. So we actually don't necessarily win right here. I'm ready to zeet the app. Obviously, I don't want to lose this stage. I'm actually gonna put... Oh, fuck. I was gonna put it in slow-mo in case something crazy happened. No insta-death. Come on, no insta-death. Uh-oh. That's not Fuma. Woo! Okay. Oh god, there's a slight chance we actually don't win right now. I wish any of these skills were back. Okay, wait, I gotta actually let this play out, then I'll zeet it. Oh wait, no, she got a Brave Chain. I didn't see that. No, she's got it. I mean, it's quick art, which is weak, but 20k is not much. Got my finger on the trigger here. Honestly, she did run that back a lot better than I thought. Like, she absolutely did. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god! Oh, I spoke too soon. Not like this. Not like that. Oh, she lived. Fuma can clean up even if she dies. Either one of them could have done the 4K. Okay, now we win. That was way close. That was so close. Jesus Christ. I don't know how I feel about that. I need to use her a little more in some other context and maybe a more typical setup there instead of the gas approach at the beginning. But, I mean, she did do medium damage consistently. I will give her that. She turned it around a little bit. Whoo, boy. That would have been funny if she had died there and Fuma had to clean up on the last turn. Reset and save Fuma. Yeah, CS him. Alright, boys. I think we'll wrap up there. We will see what this event does tomorrow. There'll be more main story and maybe because that Cha-Cha fight was okay, right? So maybe they'll add a good fight. We'll see. Let me see if Cairo or somebody is streaming here. But yeah, we should use Ilya and Plot Monk at the same circumstances and see how they do. We got... No, Cairo. We got Kodroth. There we go. We'll raid him. I'm not sure if he's playing NA or JP, but I'm sure it's one of the two, so go get him. I will hopefully see you all tomorrow, and I am out of here.